What is up, everybody? We are back live here on you know what it is. It's a Thursday night, because otherwise, how could it be Toss One Back Thursday if it wasn't Thursday night? That's just easy math right there. Don't Common Core not needed. Happy Thursday to everybody. Hopefully, you guys are coming off a nice 3-day weekend. Some of you may have had a 4-day weekend. Some may have had a 5-day weekend. Whatever you had, hopefully it was a good one. And if you were out there lighting fireworks, hopefully you still have all your fingers, because not everybody comes out of those situations the same. Just saw earlier there was a guy in Texas, I was reading yesterday, who actually died from the fireworks. He actually tried to light a firework off his head. I don't know why he tried to light a firework off his head, but it's Texas. So Texas and Florida are two states I don't try to figure out. I just let them do what they want to do, because that's how they operate. But hopefully none of you guys got crazy like that. That being said, we're going to drink some beers. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to have some fun. At the top of the comments, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to try to run some polls and stuff tonight. Have a little more fun than we usually get to do. So, first question out there on the poll of the evening.
Uh-oh.
Would you drink a beer made with hot dog water? And we'll get into that in a little bit. Would you drink a beer made with hot dog water? We got one no in there already, so make sure you definitely scroll up and check that out and pop in your thoughts on that question. Like I said, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Got Gilbert in the house. Cheers, Gilbert. Good to have you, brother, as always. We got Wayne in the house. Wayne's Beer Delivery.
What's up, Wayne?
Cheers. Yeah, don't know Wayne. Make sure y'all check out his channel as well. Radiant. Oh, it must be the shaving of the beard if I'm radiant. So, getting that youth back.
Get the little glow going on.
Little glow. So, yeah, got rid of the whiskers there. But great to see you as well. Make sure to check out Wayne as well. And make sure to check out his podcast they actually have. And speaking of podcasts, I actually put a link in there. I'm revamping the podcast that I actually do. So if you want to check that out, there's a link to that. There's going to be new things that'll start taking place there probably the next day or two for some things I'll be doing. There'll be a little bit more of kind of like a beer blast type thing, where I'm going to put out different things happening around the beer world. But it's going to be hopefully a little funny, a little entertaining, but also give you guys some updates on things that are taking place. So make sure to check that out. And if you get a chance to choose a place to listen to the podcast and you haven't, my recommendation is check out the podcast over on Good Pods. They have a nice little setup. Although the link I have is for Anchor, which is fine as well. You can listen there. You can listen to Spotify. You can listen anywhere you get podcasts. The Rajay Beercast is pretty much on all the systems. But just something different, another opportunity. If you guys are doing something, you want to hear some of the beer news, that's going to be kind of more a spot for that. Soul Glow, baby. That's right. Soul Glow coming to America. But for me, bumping my gums, Todd, how was your your weekend, your extra day? Because you got an extra day on Monday.
I did. It was good. I have all my fingers on my toes, so I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess. It was good.
You got a lot of real estate behind you that you can light off a lot of fireworks. I'm just saying. I mean, I know
it could be a lot of next to you. Could be a lot of fires too if you ain't careful. No, I actually went over. So Saturday, I actually got out and played golf. Me and a buddy of mine, and my brother, and another friend of ours, another friend of mine, I guess, good friend of mine. Played golf on Friday. It was hot as a mother out there.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Jeez, I don't know what we were thinking. And Friday, hung out with a buddy of mine and his wife, and they were having a little gathering, but ended up going over to my mom's about mid-afternoon. Brother was cooking out and shot some fireworks over there and hung out. And then Sunday, she had to work all weekend. Met me over at my mom's on Sunday night to do the fireworks. And then, then on the actual 4th on Monday, we didn't really do anything. Just kind of laid around and been lazy. Was being lazy.
Gotta get one of those days in there.
You're right, yeah.
So did you make your brisket for the 4th or anything, or did you grill anything, or did you kind of just...
I didn't, but my brother did he grilled a pork butt, so did some pulled pork and had some sandwiches and some mac and cheese and stuff, so it was pretty good. He's good at that stuff too.
Yeah, some good old like the baked mac and cheese where it gets all golden and
yeah. Get the little golden, get the little
Maybe get some of that government cheese on it too. Flavor. Give it a little ooey gooey feel.
And ain't nothing better than government cheese, though.
Government cheese.
Nothing better.
Add that cheesiness. Forget Kraft. Y'all want that government.
That's right. I don't know what's so good about that, but it's so good.
Yeah.
Or at least it was when I was a kid anyway. I don't know. Maybe might be shit now, but
shout out to JT James in the house. And I'm going to go ahead
what's
and
up,
say
James?
no to the hot dog water beer. So Mick T's in the house. Welcome, Mick. Mick up late.
What's up, Mick?
He's my friend. Cheers, homie. Recovering the fourth. Yeah, I really didn't. Actually, you know what? I only had like one beer on the fourth. I didn't really drink too much this last weekend. I started working back out again. I know I posted a picture a few weeks back when I was back in the gym. I kind of been doing some stuff there. And I tell you, the appetite for beer hasn't been as high as it usually is. I mean, I still enjoy it. Obviously, I'm going to have a few here tonight. And I get them like here and there on the weekend, but it's not like, going crazy as much anymore. So I'm kind of being a little bit more particular in the beer I'm actually enjoying. But I tell you what, that one I posted today, that one out of Canada, if I find any more of them beers, I will be buying them up like crazy. They got some tasty stuff. Gilbert said he needs more of them going his way too. I bet. I mean, if you haven't had that brewery, I would definitely recommend checking that out as well. If you
who was it? Who was the brewery?
It was actually, and I try to pronounce it because I've had French for a few years, but I haven't practiced French since I was like so young. But it's Brasserie Dunham is the brewery.
Oh, okay.
And the one I did today was the Lechimos Imperial Stout, and it was
nice.
pretty fantastic. 10.3 ABV that they actually did. So, but the other one I did for them was also smooth. They were both in the 25.8 ounce bottles. Usually the share size, but I was okay not sharing. I was all right.
Get the feel goods flowing.
Which if people drink, if you drink them, make sure you drink responsibly. If 25.8 isn't usually your thing, find a friend, phone a friend, whatever you got to do to make sure, you don't get too blasted or get out there and drive or do something crazy. But if you're in the safety of your own home, you'll probably be all right. You can just sit back and chill and just enjoy it.
You know what I have figured though on those is if you've got like a wine stopper, kind of like one of those corks or whatever you can put in the top, it'll last. You got to almost have to drink it the next day though, but it'll last fairly decent overnight.
You might buy it a little bit of time. Yeah, the key is how much oxygen really gets into it.
Right.
You might get away with it for a day or so. It's kind of like if you open a growler, like when I used to get growlers, a lot of times people try to race to them that first day. You could actually, if it's still tight enough, you can usually get away with the second day, stretching it maybe to a third day if it's been open. The second day for sure. It's just a matter of making sure it's sealed and everything. So, but yeah.
As long as you pour and seal it right away.
Yeah.
Don't let it just linger around.
It's like when I moved, I had like 5 or 6 different glass growlers. I'm like, I'm not taking those with me. So I was like, I think I turned them in recyclers and everything, but I'm like, I kind of got out of the growler stage. I have one growler that's kind of like one you can take like if you're camping or something like that and everything. Like, the insulated one. But I'm like, do people still fill growlers as much? I wonder, just because
I don't know.
It's like I feel like it is out there, but it's almost out there like kind of I don't know. Occasionally you'll see a Cabbage Patch Kid or something like that. Like it's out there, but it's kind of like nobody's really looking for it as much now.
No, not really.
And I've never getting the smaller sizes now with the crowlers or getting just the 16 ounce that they can get, So I don't know if people are still getting a full 64.
I was gonna say most breweries and stuff. I'd say a lot of them. I don't say most, but a lot of them you go to now, you can get the crowlers. They'll fill it, and seal it right there for you. So, I
mean, if you got a party of people, it makes sense to have the growler.
Yeah,
but if you have just you're getting it for you or maybe you or your significant other or like that and everything. I don't know if you want to go through the whole thing or one time.
Right. Right. Hang on.
The dogs out. Who let the dogs out? Todd.
I kept looking. Yeah, he's barking at the door wanting out. I'll be right back.
Dog's like, I gotta go, man. I gotta go. What are you doing? You see me over here barking. Dog's gotta do what a dog's gotta do. While we survived Treason Day by avoiding Hilah Park, Bojo did not survive. Well, who is Bojo? I've heard Bojo a few times. I don't know what the Bojo thing is, James, if you want to elaborate a little bit more. But yeah, the Hilah Park situation was crazy fiasco.
Yeah.
That whole thing. And today, the whole thing with the dad, oh, we didn't think he would do, I didn't think he'd do something like that or whatever. They should give him life. Like, you didn't think he would do something like that. You took away all his knives. You took away his machete. You took away all his other stuff that he had. He threatened the family before. He threatened others. But you thought, oh, it'd be okay. Let's go ahead and get him approved for guns. It don't all add up. It just don't all add up. Like, I think the dad's trying to play the dumb card so he doesn't get any charges against him. But we'll see what happens there. But thoughts out to those people that dealt with that. The worst one, I think, well, they were all bad for people that got shot like that. But the 2-year-old, looking for the mom and dad, and both the mom and dad got taken out in that thing. That was just heart wrenching.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's heartbreaking for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a crazy world that we're in. Crazy world.
For sure.
Yeah. New function with the channel. StreamYard. I almost said Stream Element. StreamYard has now allowed you to actually add your own music, which is nice. So I can now drop in some other things.
Some Barry White action there.
Background music there to make you feel a little bit more relaxed, and we can just drop it in there and drop the voice down, add a little bit of bass, What I'm saying? I did the old Joe D. How you doing?
Yeah, baby.
So that's kind of interesting. So the cool thing is, I get a lot of the stuff that I use on the YouTube channel from the free audio tracks anyway off of YouTube. So I know they're copy okay. So I can just now import those in and put them on here and not have to deal with anything there. So that's kind of cool. Let's check the poll. Where are we at on the poll? 62% said they would drink a beer made with hot dog water. 62 said they wouldn't. 38 said they would. So some people get down with the hot dog water beer.
I'd give it a go.
Yeah. You give it at least that first initial.
I don't know if it'd be a go-to to go back to or not. But.
Yeah. Gilbert's drinking an Old Flame Munich Dunkel. Very nice.
Nice.
Bry's in the house. Cheers, Bry's.
What's up, Bry?
Rajay. Bry's also overseas there, so always appreciate you, homie. Look me up on chess.com. Jonko partner. So JT's over there doing his little chess game. Hey, Vanessa, what's going on? Cheers to you.
What's up, Vanessa?
Tell Vanessa where you're going this weekend.
Yeah, it's her favorite. We're going to Holland, Michigan, Vanessa.
And Holland, Michigan.
And our first stop is New Holland. I was gonna take some pictures and post them on Instagram so she'd be able to see them.
Yeah, so they're going to be going to Dragon Milk Central, Dragon Milk U. Let's call it Dragon Milk U.
Dragon Milk U.
And they're going to get into all the dragon's milk, She's going to dressed like Game of Thrones. Like, I'm looking for dragons. Freak the people out. Like, dude, this is not Dungeons and Dragons. This is like Game of Thrones outfit. You're
right.
Yeah. Get your Murph right, man. JT says hi to Vanessa. Hey, JT. Morning, Vanessa from Bry. Everybody's so nice and kind. You okay, young lady? Doing okay, Vanessa said. Good. Yeah, because I think last time we talked to Vanessa, she was definitely still going through some of the illnesses she was battling. So hopefully you are doing better there. And Bojo's, of course. Oh, Boris Johnson. I didn't even connect that. I mean, I'm just thinking, Boris Johnson. So he resigned after the cabinet people started quitting on him. And now they're like, well, who's running things for the prime minister's office? Because he resigned. They have nobody else to fill in. And I guess they have to get somebody, and the Queen has to approve them. So it's like, if Joe Biden needs something, who's Joe call? I don't know. Nobody's answering the phone over there.
If I saw his number pop up on my dial, I wouldn't answer either.
It's like calling Popeyes. Nobody's answering. What's going on?
Like, oh shit, it's Joe. What the hell does he want? Don't answer.
Yeah, what were they saying earlier? They said the guy before Theresa May, he had to retire, or he had to resign because of Boris Johnson, and then Theresa May had to retire because of Boris Johnson, and then Boris Johnson had to retire because of Boris Johnson to resign. Like he was his own worst enemy, apparently. So, what up, Dee in the house? Cheers,
Double D.
80s soft rock feel. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a nice little, I think, like a little jazzy type thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of a soft.
Yeah.
So like waiting for the masseuse to walk in the room and
whoa.
Dude,
Where you been going? I know nothing about that.
That's what I've heard anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what the word on the street is. Oh, beer with hot dogs brewed with it? No. Hot dog water. The water that the hot dogs were boiled in is added to brew the beer.
I mean, let's be honest. They've brewed beer with a lot worse things in it than hot dog water.
Technically, you're right about that. They put some stuff in there. Problem with it, I mean, I forgot which brewery did it with like beer to one of the brewers or something like that. But I mean, yeah, it's yeah. Sometimes craft beer can go a little far, and it's like you go too far. I mean, once you did the woman's yeast, you kind of felt like you were probably going too far.
That's what I was talking about.
But now you got the hot dog water. I don't know. Hot dog water or woman's yeast. I don't know.
Wasn't somebody brewing a mustard like beer or something also?
Yeah, they had the French's mustard that was in one. And that was one they were trying to get a taste to match up to pair with hot dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, so see, you can have the hot dog water beer with the French's beer, and maybe they have a ketchup beer too. I don't know.
Well, that was Oscar Blues did the mustard beer. So.
Oh, yeah.
They were trying to do that to match up, which was an interesting thing to do. Now, the same brewery that did the hot dog water beer, they also did one with the barbecue sauce type beer, which is supposed to give some different type of flavor. So it's not new for them to try different things, apparently.
Yeah.
And they're down in Texas as well. So, Texas is trying different things, and, I'd rather have them try this than try to light fireworks off their heads. I mean,
they're right.
Yeah. Texas. All right, pick me up a keg, Vanessa says when you go. Congrats, Dee. Oh, Dee drinking a Mecklenburg lager. Doing my thing, baby. Just me and you. To my wife for 30 years. That's fake. Congrats to you.
Oh,
there.
nice. Congrats. Yes.
You're awesome. You're 1 year ahead of us. So, yeah. Dee say, Vanessa. I cut a piece of leather for the dragon on the Dragon's Milk Stout logo. Nice. Biden forgot where the phone was. He might have been looking for the rotary. He might have been looking for the dial.
Yeah, he's like, I know it's around here somewhere. It's got to be on the wall, one of these walls somewhere.
They talk about some of the kids can't use like the old rotary phones, but some of the older people can't use the regular push phones.
Right?
Now.
Yeah, true.
Oh, let me just stream. I'll shave my head smooth. Wow, no need for that. And Trudeau doesn't know how to use a phone. Gilbert says. Oh, Trudeau, it might mess up Trudeau's hair if he's on the phone. So why not put hot dogs in the brew? I mean, I'm not the brewer of it. I mean,
you could, I guess.
I don't know if hot dogs would really. I mean, to put meat in the beer, I don't know if meat really has anything to offer for the fermentation. I mean,
unless she means that,
like have a hearty stout or something.
What she means once you already have it in a glass and then just put the hot dog in it, like a.
Now I've seen people
on the side,
I've seen people at baseball games dip their hot dog in their beer, the hot dog in a bun.
Speaking of hot dogs, did you watch any of the hot dog competition on Monday?
I didn't watch it when it happened, but I saw the video of Joey Chestnut choking somebody out.
Yes. And then he immediately turned around and just kept on shoving hot dogs in his mouth. I was cracking up.
And I didn't realize it was during the contest when he did it. So the clock is still running, but he still beat everybody like 20 plus hot. He set a new record again or something, but he still beat people. He had time to beat people in the hot dog thing, eat 50 plus hot dogs, and choke a son of a bitch out that rushed the stage. So Yeah, that's like a full day. That's a full day for Joey Chestnut, and not to mention on his leg he had something where he ruptured something like a tendon or something like that. So he wasn't even full health.
Yeah, he had a boot or something on. I
think.
think.
He had a boot on. So I'm like, I'm not saying that's going to make him the most badass man in the world, but there's a lot of stuff that he had going on to put him in a badassery type category there. You know?
Or they were talking on sports radio. While I was at work, I listened to a lot of sports radio, and they were saying, "Is he the best athlete of our time?" I'm thinking, athlete's kind of a strong word to use, but I mean, I don't know, maybe he is, because like, how many other people can eat 80 hot dogs in 10 minutes or whatever it is,
and choke somebody out?
And yeah. Well, I think he only had 60 or something that day, but still.
He's like, I'm ahead. I got time for this.
Yeah. He's taking a little pit stop. Wait for you guys to catch up.
Yeah. When the guy goes to jail, are you the guy that got choked out by Joey Chestnut with a hot dog hanging out of his mouth?
There for a while, I thought he was in trouble. I was like, might have somebody was hanging with him after like 17.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you look and he was like, he doubled that. I was like, oh, geez. I was like, so much for a competition.
Yeah. Apparently the person that was a protest was a PETA person, I guess, too. So I don't know what I read there. I don't know if they were, protesting them using the meat for the hot dog.
Probably.
But yeah. But they picked the wrong one that day.
Yeah.
Called the beer brat. Well, we have beer brats, though. We have brats made with beer. You can get those at the store. The grass CD for Vanessa. Cheers, Rod Todd, Rock.
CB.
Oh, thank you, CB. Yeah, so.
Really, let the dogs in.
Dogs now. I'm going to come back in now. Yeah, so over on Facebook and Twitter, I shared a post here. I mean, I was already on the list, but I actually moved up a spot, which was nice just because, you don't really get to move in that because of the people. Once you're kind of like in that top 10 area, I mean, all the people are so good and stuff. Even behind the top 10 area, there's a lot of good people. So to make any movement was actually nice. They did a new update on things. And for the top YouTube beer channels, I was number 6 now. And with good company, I was behind like Matt from Massive and Joe Senegala. And Greg was number 1 from Greg's Beer Reviews. And number 2 was, I think it was Simon from Real Beer. No, it was the Craft Beer Channel. I think Simon might have been number 3, somehow in that order. So they're all solid people at. So it's like I don't even expect to crack the top 5 anytime just because they all do some good stuff there. So it's just always nice when you get recognized on stuff. Expert at sucking down tons of hot dogs. Yeah, he can. Joey likes the wieners, so he does
that he does.
How he's never been in a something about Mary skit on Saturday Night Live. Have you seen my wiener? Like when he does the baseball or something about Mary, like they just have a skit for him looking at the wiener on Saturday Night Live. That would be gold. That'd be gold. Saturday Night Live, if you write that, you owe me money for royalty. By the way.
There you go.
You heard it here first. But Todd,
cracking one open.
You're cracking one open now. I haven't cracked mine open yet. So what do you got? What do you got?
This is the peanut butter jelly Imperial Stout from Untitled Art. And it says Imperial Stout with strawberry, raspberry, blackcurrant, cocoa nibs, and milk sugar. Brewed, canned by Untitled Art, Maniwaki, Milwaukee. Here's the can art on that.
Very nice. Untitled Art is so solid.
And this one comes in, I think it was 11. Where'd it go? 11% exactly. Okay. So 11% ABV.
Go big or go home. All right.
That's right.
I think it's going to be a big ABV night here, by the way, because when I got it's going to be right up there, too. Look at that pour. I like that color, like a purplish tone to it.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of doesn't come across quite as well on camera, but it definitely kind of has that kind of the jelly-ish color tint to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, definitely get the peanut butter off the nose right off the bat.
It's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter
definitely
jelly
smell
time. Peanut butter jelly time.
Hope it definitely smells sweet. I'm getting a huge hint of peanut butter. I'm not really getting a lot of the berries in it. It's been sitting out probably a little over half hour now, 40 minutes maybe. Didn't hardly even give any kind of head on it at all.
Oh,
that's what she said. A little dirty glass mafia action going on too, apparently. That's weird. Okay, now get in the back end. So initially, right up front, all you get is like the berries in it. Definitely get like the tartness, a little bit of the berries. And as it goes down, then on the head and on the back of your tongue, the peanut butter kind of kicks in. It's interesting. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. But for the smell of it, there's not a lot of peanut butter in the taste, but the smell, all I smell is peanut butter on it, which is really weird. Now I'm getting a little bit of the berries in the smell, but definitely wasn't as prevalent on the taste as it was in the nose. I mean, right out of the gate, you get the berry, kind of the tartness of the berries, definitely some of the like strawberry. Say strawberry? Yeah, strawberry, raspberry. Maybe a little bit. Not really getting much of the cocoa nibs out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad though. It's pretty decent. Not as good as I would say most Untitled Art stouts are, but it's pretty solid though. I don't know. Not sure if this is one I'd want more than a can of in a sitting. I don't think.
More like a break up the routine type beer.
Yeah. Like it's not overly sweet, but I don't know if I'd want the taste of that for more than a beer.
Right. Well, that's pretty nice. Pretty.
Which I'm actually glad that it's not super sweet, because they do tend to get sweet on a lot of their stouts.
Very nice.
Pretty good though. I'd say give it a go if you can find it in your area. I can't remember what I paid for the can. Maybe $5.99 a can. That's maybe for the can.
Yeah. Untitled Art, they push the price for sure on that side of their stuff, especially if you get the individuals. I've noticed.
I am definitely getting some of the berry in it now. It was really odd though when I first poured it. All I got was peanut butter.
Didi said like wieners, right? Out. Yeah, I'm thinking they could have had a little spot there, Mock and Joey. Now Katie ate 16 dogs in the woman's side. Her friend won with 40, but she got the trip to New York for the 4th. Oh, nice.
Sweet.
Brought some footlong hot dogs to try. 6 slices of bread to see if it makes a good PBJ sandwich, what that's said. Slice of bread in your beer. Paul said that actually, Rod. So Paul's saying he's actually had the beer made with hot dog, which we did. He makes note, like Sheets did it. And we actually talked about that last year or whenever it came out before, was Sheets had that hot dog beer too, I remember. But yeah. And it was very good. He said he used sauce hops. So, not saying it can't work. I mean, for what you're putting into it, it's just the idea I think that people have. Now, another beer out of Singapore is being made with refurbished sewage water.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know if we can get over the metal. Maybe I should put that as a poll question.
I think. Didn't we talk about that one a couple weeks ago?
I think somebody was talking about it, but. This was one I read today out of Singapore.
Okay.
They were talking about them working on it or something like that, but they're not the first one that actually.
We were talking about today, actually, Shannon. The water. We got a town here close that they have. Supposedly, it's really clean, but it comes out looking like brown sewer water. And it said there's nothing wrong with it, and it's completely okay to drink. But for whatever reason, they don't filter. They can't get it filtered clear. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know about all that. I couldn't get past the look of it.
I can only do one poll at a time, apparently. So I'll let that poll go for a little bit more, and I'll come up with another poll question.
So what's it at right now?
Right now, 71% say no, 29% say yes.
Oh.
So
it's flipped.
Yeah, I mean, in craft beer, it's no is still winning. It actually went down a little bit on yes. So, but yeah, I think it's just it's a mental thing that you get in your head when you think of the hot dog order going in. But like Paul mentioned, it can work. It worked well when Sheets did it. So
I would try it.
Vanessa said no head sounds like a medical mistake. Yeah, no head of beer. So speaking of beer, I'm gonna go ahead and crack this one open. And this isn't nothing new for the most part, I don't think, unless you haven't seen it on the channel. Because I had the review up one already. I don't know if I had one last week or not, but it's the 2022 Optimum. I can't remember if I drank this last
week. You did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So these are my last one from the set as I try to clear out my IPAs right now. So
yeah, because I was drinking some of those Sierra Nevadas also out of the mix pack I got, and Craig was saying he actually was able to get that one over there.
That's right. Yeah. So this one, 11% ABV. So both of us are starting with an 11, which is nice. Yeah. But definitely nice if you see this. They don't come out with, like I said, I don't believe every year. That's why it says 2022 appearance on the label. So if you're a Sierra Nevada fan, make sure to actually check that out. See if I was going to drink my last Waldo's, but I might do that for a review. I don't know. I feel like I've done Waldo's before, but everybody's like how it changes each year. Maybe do a 2022 version of it to share. Did Sheets Beer make a beer named Holy Sheets? They should have. That's a good idea. They should have. If they do now, Vanessa, we got to make sure we get you the rights for that name because, or just Holy Sheet. It could be just Holy Sheet, but Holy Sheets would be good because they have the whole full name in there. Brewery double barley wine yesterday, damn good. D9 double barrel. Well, what was the ABV of double barley wine? Because it's not going to really double, I would say, because depending on the barley wine, it could be. I mean, it could be like 18 or 19 or something. That'd be interesting. Double barley wine stout. But were they going for the stout or were they going for the barley wine? Because they're two different styles. Had to drive to Hanscom Air Force Base to replace my military retired ID cards. That's a road trip. Blake's in the house. Cheers, Blakey Blake. What's up, homie?
What's up, Blake?
And hashtag is thin, right, Gilbert? Yeah. Don't take Paul's line. You get Paul upset using his. Paul's supposed to call it thin.
A tad bit thin. And 100 and 400 degrees.
This is pretty smooth though. So I will tell you, like, one thing I have now, like, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you get that syrupy type feel in the texture. But the carbonation is pretty solid. You got some nice bubble action taking place. Now, I will say it might be more because of this glass that I'm using in. It's actually nucleated on the bottom. So it's designed to spin the bubbles up more for the carbonation effect. It looks nice and it tastes nice. And after not having a beer since Monday, it's enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
Blake, now let's smoke, bro.
Uh-oh.
Smoke them if you got them. Visitor Center almost didn't look me up. Card said I needed something to show my military affiliation. I said permanent disabled retired. Ain't proof enough. Yeah. Don't mess with Vanessa. Hey, boy. Smoking for you, CB and Vanessa. So he's smoking for CB. Usually CB is smoking for everybody else. Growing for you July 2023, Blake. Oh, make a little trip up to Connecticut there, Blake. Growing some for you. You don't put that shit in the mail. I'm just saying.
Right.
What up, Trez?
What's up, Trez?
Welcome, homie. Great to have you as always, my friend, and current member of the channel. Which reminds me, for some of you that may not be aware or were interested, I am going to be doing I do different things I'm going to be doing for membership stuff on the channel. So if you are interested in being a member of the channel, there are the details in the description. But like Trez, like his last month or whatever, I ended up sending him like some different beers and stuff like that and everything. Not that you have to be a member of the channel to sit here and enjoy stuff, but sometimes I get people that ask about different ways they can kind of do things. So just something to throw out there. And also talking about the channel, I'm actually doing some different updates because I have the other channel that I'm running that's picking up popularity, the reaction channel. I'm trying to get more of a balance. So on this one, we have to toss one back every Thursday night, 8:45, and then video beer reviews, and that's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 12:15. And then occasionally I'll put other stuff up there as well. So I'm going to kind of be toning back a little bit there so I can balance out with some of the other channel stuff. Just want to make sure everybody's all aware of that. And the other stuff I'll be doing, like on the podcast, if you're interested in hearing that stuff, make sure you click the link up top where it has the link there as well. So got a lot of different stuff actually taking place. So it's kind of crazy. Hazy sewage water, right? Like, it was hazy. Would you trust it? Like, would you even know it was clean? It might
right.
Be hazy. Like, yeah. I don't know if they can do an hazy IPA if they're using recycled sewage water. I'd have some questions about those. Let me see. What up, Trez? Yeah, brown water is never good to drink. In West Virginia, smart, don't drink the water. Or yellow snow. Right? So, although Rogue had a yellow snow IPA, it was tasty. It was decent. So, the only time it's safe to eat the yellow snow or drink the yellow snow. Rum aged in maple casks, nice, potent, but nice. Ooh, that does sound nice. I'm into rum now, so I'd like to get some different rum stuff. I was drinking mojitos the last couple of weeks. I kind of got the rum going, so I may pick up some more rum this week.
No, there you go.
Branching it out. CB, check Messenger on Facebook. So confused about what I drank, but it's one thing I know in this crazy ass world. 8 a.m. tea time tomorrow. Of course you have a tea time tomorrow.
Nice.
It's like, cause why wouldn't you?
Why?
Right?
Exactly. Wouldn't be a Friday if Double D wasn't golfing.
DD not golfing. I don't know. I'm like, something must be wrong with the world right now. So DD's got to get his golf on. Well, DD, but that's just it. Yeah. So actually, I'm doing okay thus far. So I'm going to start going typing a bunch because I'm staying on top of the comments as best I can. Don't feel like you got to keep right in there. Just
every now and again, just throw something up every now and again.
Once in a while, I would catch up on the comments there and everything like that. So
mark it down.
Yeah, but the sewage water beer is kind of an interesting type thing. And then it's funny because at one point we were talking about, like, was it last year when Convicts and Kings bought Ballast Point? We were talking about stuff.
Oh yeah.
So now Ballast Point was supposed to be purchased. I'm sorry, not they. Convicts and Kings bought Ballast Point, but now they may be purchasing Modern Times, which is crazy.
Oh wow.
So,
were you seeing any Modern Times at all before you moved?
No, I'm looking at the wrong damn thing. No, I did see some of Jungle Gems. Modern Times, they're not actually purchasing them. Modern Times actually possibly being purchased by Maui Brewing. But
okay.
Put my book to the side. Maybe I'm getting too hammered right now. But anyway, so here's the deal. Stone got bought by, like, Joe Biden. Look, folks, here's the deal.
Read my lips. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong guy.
Turn off the teleprompter. We'll go live.
That's right.
Stone Brewing got bought by Sapporo. Sapporo now is making Stone pretty much like a craft beer in terms of craft beer.
Wait a minute. When did that happen?
That happened last week. So
I didn't catch that.
They got bought for $165 million.
Oh,
technically, they can no longer be a craft beer. They were the 9th biggest craft brewery.
Right.
Generally, they can't now be because of Sapporo being their owner and them being a macro. So now you had Convicts and Kings who bought Ballast Point. They've now become the biggest craft brewery out there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so and it was kind of weird because we talked about it before, but if people that don't know, Convicts and Kings ended up buying Ballast Point basically on a golf course.
Mm-hmm.
just like asking the guy, like, what do you think about selling one of your breweries? And like, what are you talking about? Like, how much, if we want to buy Ballast Point. So Ballast Point, which back in the day was bought for essentially $1 billion by Constellation that couldn't get anything back. They sold it off under this thing, and these other guys came in, they swooped in and got a great deal on it.
That's crazy.
Whatever, I think it was like $400 or $500 million or whatever, but they basically got a half price sale. Rod J deal. They got a Rod J deal on Ballast Point, but now they're going to be the largest craft brewery. And then Orange County Brewery X or whatever, some other weird type thing. They were supposed to buy Modern Times, but now they backed out today from doing that. They had an auction to see who could buy them. Well, second in the auction was Maui Brewing. So now Maui Brewing might be buying Modern Times, which I'm not disappointed about because Maui Brewing does some good beers.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll keep Modern Times still rolling, and who knows what they'll come up with together on stuff. So
it's
a whole bunch of different things happen in the craft beer world. So I was sitting there trying to read all these different things together, and it's just like, get it out. It's just too much. But the whole thing with the shakeup of
I sure didn't see I don't know how I missed that one. I sure didn't see the Stone.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting shakeup. So I don't know what people's thoughts are that are watching, or what your thoughts are, Todd, about Stone. I feel like the majority of people aren't going to really care that much that Stone's owned by Sapporo, right? If you like Stone beer, you're going to still drink Stone beer. They're still going to make a good product.
Yeah.
There's a small percentage of that elitism type crew in craft beer that would be like, wow, I will never buy their beer again because they sold out, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing you saw with Goose Island. When Goose Island, they bad, but yet, they did okay. They're like, okay, we'll do good. We'll still get to Bourbon County. We're still rolling. So,
I was going to say the same people that bitch about that are the same ones that are standing in line on Black Friday to get the Goose Island stuff, the Bourbon Counties, but yet they're going to bitch about it the whole time. But, oh, no, this is different. This doesn't count.
Yeah, like, it ain't the same.
This one doesn't count. Yeah. Like, oh, the 312? No, that's a Budweiser product. Bourbon County. Oh, yeah, okay, I'll take that one. In fact, I go stand in line overnight to wait for it.
Right. Yeah, so it's like, just shut your pie hole and move on. But
you're right on this. You're right on the Stone though, because it really shouldn't make any difference if they leave them alone and do whatever. I mean,
it's just interesting from the perspective of the history of Stone. With Stone, that they're going to still keep making the stuff they were making. They appreciate all the employees stuff they had under that, but you put a big enough offer in front of someone, it's hard to turn down. I mean,
man, it's kind of what you go into business for. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, in the corporate world of things, companies get bought because they make strong plays on balance sheets for other companies, right? And they're not going to affect them, but you're just going to be under our umbrella now. Plus, you go under Sapporo, they may give you more backing for stuff where maybe you're feeling the crunch on things, coming out of the pandemic in certain spots where now you're not going to feel that as much because you got deeper pockets,
more backing.
Yeah, that you're able to do other stuff. So, at the end of the day, it's a business decision.
I will say, since Ballast Point got taken over, I don't know that we even get distro here anymore.
I haven't seen them for a while, which was kind of funny because I was like, well, how are they the biggest one now? So I'll have to research some more into that. But the article I was reading said basically with Stone getting bought, that now they were going to be the biggest craft brewery. And I'm thinking like, well, I thought they were number 9. What about the other ones that were? But there were a lot of them that were also purchased previously. So you had like New Belgium under someone. I know you had, I think New Belgium did go under somebody out in Colorado. And then you also had some other ones like Avery went under somebody, went under the same people that Founders went under.
Right.
So Sam Wow or whatever. So you had some other ones that were big ones before that technically aren't considered craft breweries now because of the way a lot of these companies follow the Brewers Association definition of what a craft brewery is. So
although I will say, I kind of stopped buying Ballast Point even before that anyway, because I thought they were ridiculously priced.
Yeah, you had to be about you had to be careful about which ones you bought from Ballast Point because some of them were like really not really that great. But if you got like Victory at Sea,
Well,
I think you were happy with the Imperial Porter they were doing with that line. Sculpin, depending on which one you got, could be a hit or miss type thing.
Right.
Some of their other stuff, it was kind of like it's okay. They had one that was like a double IPA that I thought was pretty decent, but they had stuff that is kind of like definitely lower delivery than I expected for it. It just didn't meet standards I would expect them to have. So.
Of course, I will say, I guess I shouldn't say overpriced now because I feel like they were kind of at the top of the food chain as far as the pricing goes, but now it seems like it's just standard pricing for most breweries.
Depending on what you're getting,
yeah.
Because I mean, I remember what they.
But I don't feel like their beer is as good as a lot of these breweries are now that are coming out with that price point or higher.
Yeah. Well, you would see a 6-pack like they're Sculpin in some spots, and it was like $13.99 or something. I'm like, is that really worth the 6-pack of the Sculpin? And then you got other competition you can do stuff like you're putting a 6-pack of the Sculpin versus a 6-pack of the Zombie Dust,
Right.
I don't know. I feel like there was other craft breweries that were smaller that were doing a better. I'd say necessarily maybe a better price. There's definitely some solid price at a lower price point on stuff too. So they kind of were able to start going off their name because they were like Ballast Point, San Diego, blah blah blah. And everybody kind of into it because of it. But there was some of the stuff that was underwhelming from them too. So it is what it is. But now I see stuff like here I see some 6-packs. I do get some that are still like $9.99, but some like $10 or $11.99 now. But I don't know if that's just because of where we're at now with inflation, or if the market has just shifted a little bit. 4-packs that we usually see in the past $11.99 or $12, I see them more. Some around there, but some around $15 or $16.99 now too for a 4-pack of like 16-ounce cans. So we have the dynamics changing and some of the pricing taking place. But again, I don't know if it's because the market or inflation or whatever it may be that's causing the prices to actually go up,
What about Firestone? You seeing much of them out there?
Yeah, I actually can get Firestone now. Like I've gotten a couple of their special edition stuff. I haven't done the reviews on yet, but I got like their Parabola 2022.
Yeah,
I got their Golden something as well. The other last month or whatever, I haven't done yet. The ones I did do, like when I was moving here at the hotel, like I did a couple hotel reviews. I've got some stuff like that. I got those up in Jersey, so when I go to Jersey, I see a lot of the Firestone type things too. So
I feel like we're still getting some of their stuff. We are getting some of their specialty stuff too, but I don't feel like we're getting as much of it as we were getting.
Well, it's all the distribution way.
Right.
That travel, who you're set up with, and where you're able to get your product.
Of course, I know it's all in sales and stuff too, whether they keep pushing it in, that location or whatever.
Yeah. Let's see here. No pirate rum to be had anywhere. It's AC. I haven't seen pirate rum in a while, actually. Pirate rum I've seen like when I was in Cincinnati, like Party Source would carry that. Jungle Jim's probably had it too in their liquor store, but I actually never went into the liquor store at Jungle Jim's, but Party Source is such a good place where you got a lot of deals I never had to. Jungle Jim's was all about the beer for me when I was there.
Oh, yeah.
What up, Rod, in the house?
Rod.
Miss you too, Rod. Miss you too. And hopefully everybody's enjoying something out there to drink. If you guys are drinking some stuff, I know like Gilbert always lets us know. Put in the comments what you're enjoying right now. Even if it's that great Waterboy H2O. What kind of H2O are you drinking?
High quality
H2O. Protein H2O. This is packed with proteins. I never thought I would see a day where they actually have protein water that they sell. I never thought I'd see an oxygen bar either, but I've seen that too. So out in Vegas, like they have oxygen bars, and I've seen them in other parts of the country, but it's just like How do you know you need to be in an oxygen bar? Like you're running out of oxygen. You're outside like, I need some more oxygen.
Yeah, just breathe. Just breathe. Take deeper breaths.
That guy that came up with the oxygen idea, I mean, that guy, rich guy, just, yeah. I want to make an oxygen bar.
Well, who would ever thought you would be buying bottles of water?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine that pitch to somebody? Be like, oh, I got this great idea. Let's sell some bottled water. Get the what? Get out of here. Why am I going to sell anything? How are you going to make money off something you can just turn on your faucet and get out of? No, trust me on this. Trust me on this. We'll call it mountain water. The purest, cleanest, coldest water you ever can get.
Well, you know what Evian spells backwards, right?
Trying to think of naive.
Naive.
Yeah.
They're telling you on the bottle. They're telling you.
Yeah. Just look at it in the mirror.
Tell a kid to drink water from a hose nowadays. They'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
drink water from a hose. Like,
is it filtered? Oh, wait, what?
in school, my parents are so bad. They're so mean to me. They drink water from a hose.
Yeah.
CPS shows up. Are you making your kid drink water from a hose?
God, the worst part of drinking water out of the hose was being the first kid to turn it on after just sitting in the sun, and the first drink out of it was the hottest water you'd ever drink in your life. You're like, oh God, you have to let it run for a minute.
How pretentious of a country have we become where water from the hose was seen as such a bad thing now?
I know, right?
Like, or tap water, like, oh, you don't have any bottle? Well, you can just tap.
I ain't drinking that.
Tap water. Yeah. It's like, wow, how privileged of a country have we become?
Pretty bad.
Oh, let's see. My right forearm is swollen like a balloon at the center of titanium. Like, oh wow, I don't recall myself hitting on anything. But oh, hopefully they get it all hurt. You might maybe you were sleeping and you banged it on something.
That sounds like a thing Shannon would do right there. She'd wake up with bruises on her arm. Like, what'd you do there? She's like, I don't know what the hell I did. I'm surprised somebody doesn't think I beat her to death or something. She always got bruises on her legs, on her arms. I'm like, what happened? She's like, I don't fucking know.
Snow IPA, the true hazy of the hazy IPAs, right? Yeah, I don't know if I'd get a hazy IPA from a company that was using sewer water.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just buy KC Beer Company beer here in Missouri. So, yeah, the person that handles their social media, I follow on Twitter, and we talk here and there. And I do want to get some KC beer at some point to check out, but I hear a lot of good things about them. I think Tom Whisperer.
That's what I was just going to say. I think I've seen him do some videos on their stuff.
Yeah, drinking the Dry Hop Farmhouse Ale, the brewer from KC Beer. There you go.
Nice.
A real nice little farmhouse ale. Good for the workers. It's good for me. TD in the house. What up, TD?
TD.
Always like to see people laughing and having a good time. Cheers, y'all. Sips up, Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Sketchbook Brewing. That's an interesting name for one. Insufficient clearance. The style is that one.
For sure.
But no, those are thinking about those kids. Those are some funny things thinking about that. So I haven't gotten to watch the Stranger Things yet. Have you guys started watching Stranger Things? The new season or whatever?
We haven't. Honestly, we never even finished watching all of what's the new one on now? 4? Is this the 4th one that just come out?
I think it's the 4th one now.
So we never finished all of season 3.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about it now because it was off on hiatus for so long. Like the kids aren't even kids anymore. I mean, they're teenage kids now. Well, I know, but it's like before they were, 7 was like 12 years old, and now she's like 17 or 18. I'm like, I'm curious how they play that in there.
I'm kind of interested in seeing it from the nostalgia standpoint. So I saw like a couple of the scenes and stuff, not watching the show, but seeing like commercials, like the whole Domino's thing, and the thing about Metallica, Master of Puppets. So they have a scene in there where they're playing Master of Puppets, And a lot of younger kids haven't really heard Master of Puppets, right? So it's kind of like something they hadn't really been in because they haven't been exposed to it. Master of Puppets ended up being like #1 now, like on Billboard or whatever, because of Stranger Things.
Because of that, yeah.
They had another song, can't remember who it was from the 80s, another song. I don't want to say it was hard. It was a female group, I think, but that's actually like in the top 5 now too. So it's like they're bringing back a lot of the nostalgia type,
right?
Stuff. Yeah, which is kind of cool. So,
but I heard the next season isn't going to be for another like 2 or 3 years before it comes out.
Oh, the college years. So there you go.
Yeah, right. We'll have the elementary years moved forward to high school years and then the college years.
I did finish Peaky Blinders though. That's such a good series. So
we're still watching that. So
yeah, it's one of my favorite series. I think. I don't know. Do you have a favorite series that you like, or a number of favorite series that are probably your favorite over all time?
Yeah, I do. And probably Breaking Bad is one of the top 2 or 3 for sure for me, I think. And then, I don't know, Mad Men, maybe. Have you seen Mad Men?
I've never watched Mad Men. Janice watched it. She loved it. She loved it.
It's up there. And I think Peaky Blinders will fall up there pretty once we get through it all, because I'm into that one pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that I really didn't watch Mad Men since I have a degree in advertising, but I just never. I've seen parts of it and stuff like that, but I think it's because it was Sunday nights, and I think it was Sunday Night Football, and I was into fantasy football, so
I was
on the game, so I never really got into it and stuff.
Well, we never watched it when it was actually on. We just caught up, watched it all on. I guess it was on Netflix, or whatever it was on.
Yeah, and I would catch a couple episodes here and there, which were decent and stuff, like kind of in the off-season months and stuff, but. Yeah, I mean, I
will say you have to give that one a little bit of time. Not a lot of time, but you have to give it a little bit to get into it. A few episodes to get into it.
Yeah,
but it's really good.
Was it kind of like slow building movie?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit, just to kind of lay down the tracks a little bit to get going up the hill before you. And you're like, oh, okay. And then it kind of hooks you, and then you're just into it. I'm trying to think what else offhand. I know I'm missing a bunch of stuff, and I can't.
Yeah, I mean, I would say on my end, like, Sopranos is up there as one of my favorite series.
Yeah, that was a really good one, too.
That was one I watched all the way through, all the way to the end. Look forward to, each Sunday when it came on. I'm trying to think of the ones I'm kind of into. It's funny because I was in and out of The Walking Dead, although now I'm into it. I'm kind of waiting to see the whole thing, but it's more kind of waiting just to get to the end. So it's not
In
the beginning, it was definitely a little bit more heavy pulled in, but now it's just like the subway car. I'm just trying to finish it to get the free sub at the end. Just trying to get through it at this point.
I will say, now that I said Breaking Bad up there, Better Call Saul is pretty damn good too.
Yeah, I've never seen that one either. Yeah.
And Shannon,
I never watched Better Call Saul because I didn't watch
Breaking Bad. Yeah. I would say at the start you probably wouldn't have to have, but you do now because it's kind of caught up to Breaking Bad. So a lot of the characters are, you would kind of have to know where they're coming from to get to that point. Yeah.
Breaking Bad is one of the series. If I have a list of series I wish I would have got into, then I would have Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Probably have Mad Men.
So you haven't watched Sons of Anarchy?
No. Probably would have what's the one, the Western with the curse and everything like that? That was on HBO.
Westworld?
No, not that.
What'd you say?
That.
That's what I thought. I thought you
was. It's the one with the back in the day, like the 1850s or whatever. And,
dang! I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to think of what the hell the name of that one was. It was only like 3 seasons long or something.
Deadwood. I would have done in Deadwood.
Deadwood, yeah.
And that one.
And the other one I haven't watched that I do want to watch, I think is Steve Buscemi's in it. and it was on HBO also. Boardwalk, yes, I do want to.
I was in the two I didn't finish. If I had a list of series I watched and I didn't finish, then Boardwalk and The Wire would be two of those. They were good series, but I never finished them because I got sidetracked with other stuff.
See, The Wire is the other one. I haven't even watched any of that either. But everybody always is like, "Oh, you got to watch The Wire." There's so many people in here that's in everything else now that you watch. You're like, "Oh, that guy's. Oh, I know that guy. I know the guy."
Yeah, I would say Oz was one of my favorite series to watch. That was kind of a grittiness there. So.
See, I never watched that one either.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Another good one, though, if you've not seen it, is 6 Feet Under.
That's one of the ones I wish I would have finished. So I watched it for like the
you did?
Seasons, but I never finished it. It's the Sunday night shows that would throw me off. Again,
right.
Yeah, but that was really good. I think
that's a good one. It's dark, but it's pretty damn good, though.
And what I wish I would have watched I didn't watch was Dexter. That's another one. The guy came off of 6 Feet Under, did Dexter.
Right.
Yeah, so Stranger Things is solid. I haven't watched the new season yet, but the first three I liked and enjoyed. And it's kind of it keeps you interested in the show, I think. I think it's got a nice little casting. It's good writing. And it's got a little bit of a campiness type factor to it, but it's a fun campiness type factor. So you kind of throw it back. And for me, growing up in the 80s and stuff like that and everything, it's a great nostalgia.
Yeah.
Actually watch. So that's what hooks me into a lot of the stuff with it.
I liked it when we watched it. We just kind of got away from it. Like you said, you just kind of go on to something else, and then.
Well, like you said, it was so long, you know.
And then there's been so much time.
It's like all the other shows. Like I go back and watch the other season now because I don't really remember what happened where it left off. So yeah.
Well, and that's what somebody at work was talking about. That she just finished watching. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll just wait till it all comes out, and then I'll just watch all the seasons all together. Yeah. You know. Like, because there is so much, and then like the next season is going to be the way she talked was like 2 years down the road or something before then. I'm like, well, shit, I'll just wait till it all comes out and then just watch them all. Because I definitely am interested to see how they play that into the roles of them getting a lot bigger than what they were when they kind of went on hiatus.
Yeah. What's another poll question out there? I'll get to in a bit. But the question is, are you burnt out on IPAs? So people can actually answer that poll question. And I'll get to the summary of why I posted that here in a bit. Oda de Pena Beer Company, good damage. Siri Cerveza Oscura Mexican Dark Lager. Okay, my friend. Okay. Go a little Mexican. Okay. Side note, I worked in Hilah Park all week. A few bucks for the shooting. Damn.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah. It's got to be like almost like a surreal type thing. Like if you were that close to it, you're like down there, and it's just like that could have been a day you were working or something like that and everything. That
too close to home.
It's kind of like in a different type of way. Like back in, remember '88, they had that big earthquake out in California and the bridge collapsed and stuff. Well, the year before that, summer before that, we used to cross that bridge like almost every day or at least every week because we were out there working for college and stuff. And it's like when that happened, you just felt like you could have been on that bridge at any point when that kind of happened there. So to think that, something like that, even when I was in Cincinnati working, we had a shooting, which you probably saw in the news, Todd, like at that Fifth Third Plaza in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
Our office was a block away. The time that actually happened, I was getting calls because I was in Chicago with the wife for a conference, but I was getting calls like in that morning asking if I was okay. And I'm like, why? What's going on? And they're like, do you know what? I'm like, no, I'm actually in Chicago. We turn on like the Today Show or whatever. And that's like a block from our office. And usually where that sat at, we'd be walking through there to go to Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. And so we could have easily been caught up in that had I been in Cincinnati that morning.
That's crazy.
That's just weird shit. Like, so, I hear people occasionally like, I didn't think it could happen here, like kind of type thing. And it's like, these things can happen anywhere. At this point.
Right. Yeah, you're not safe.
Everybody has to be on alert, which sucks. I mean, and I can't even imagine, like, they're talking about the Uvalde thing, which gets worse and worse. The more I hear about, like, that whole situation down in Texas, like that it came out today. Like one of the cops had a chance to take the shooter out before he entered the building, and was asking if he should take the shot, and the person wasn't getting a response back from the leader. Like the dude, and then by the time somebody said something, the guy was in the building.
Too late. Yeah.
There were so many ways they could have prevented what happened to Uvalde, and it's just like mind blowing that this actually all happened. You almost feel like, you know, if you're a conspiracy theorist, like, oh, it was all set up, like to have this happen, because they could have took him out. They like, it's just too many like mistakes. Like,
there's definitely been a lot of that going on for sure, as far as conspiracies and things.
It's like, how do you show up like being the head of the sheriff's department, not knowing you're the one in charge of that type of thing? Everybody's like, well, you're the one in charge. Like, oh, I didn't know I was in charge. Like, we're like, you know, these are all your guys. Who else are you going to look up to? You know, so it's just a whole.
It's like everybody's pointing fingers.
Yeah, but it's crazy,
you know.
You could be some spot and then something can happen a day later. You're like, I was just there, you know, type situation. So
we just had nothing along the lines of shooting, but we had a couple. I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago. There's a girls like an AAU type tournament going on over in downtown Louisville, and there was a girl and her family, her mom and dad and her little brother they were from Iowa. I think they were from Iowa. I don't know if they were from Iowa, but she's like a top 100 college player that just committed to Iowa. But anyway, a guy was driving on oxycodone and ran over him or hit him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and they were on the sidewalk. He just ran up on the sidewalk and he was like, I just couldn't control the car or whatever and hit him.
That's because you're supposed to be driving your oxycodone.
Yeah, exactly. Now the parents are, you know, they're all like, I think the little kid is fine, but the girl and her parents they're all in intensive care. Like they're not even sure if her parents are going to make it or not. And I was like, good Lord, what in the hell's?
Like some people shouldn't be allowed to leave the house anymore.
No kid. I mean, that's the truth.
It's crazy.
Is the truth.
And Rod, no, that's another one that would be in the list of stuff I wish I would have watched, but I didn't get into.
Oh, Ozarks. Yeah, that's really good too.
Now, the series that I really enjoyed, the blonde-headed girl on the Ozarks, she was on the Americans, and the Americans was one of my favorite shows to watch when that was out.
You know, I started watching the Americans, and then that was kind of one of those. I'm like, I don't know why I got away from it after I was 3 seasons into it, and I just kind of quit watching it.
Yeah, it was good. It led up to a really good ending and stuff on it. So, but she ended up being one of the characters in the later roles in that show.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Ozarks is awesome. My wife watched. She really liked the Ozarks.
Yeah, Ozarks is good.
Stranger Things, excellent. 2 years for 5. Yeah, I'm going to watch Stranger Things at some point. I just haven't watched it. I mean, I just finally finished Peaky Blinders after wanting to see it so much. So, Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine was a pretty good Star Trek series. I was always more of a Star Trek person than Star Wars. So Deep Space Nine was actually a pretty decent one. One thing about all Star Trek series, if you're actually watching and you're really listening, you're into it, they hit on a lot of different socio-political type things that take place, but it's done in that type of way that's science fiction that most people don't even realize they're hitting on stuff sometimes. And Deep Space Nine was a pretty good show. Most Netflix series have a short lifespan. Yeah, I'm trying to think of which ones might have been long. Had there been Ozarks, what, 4 seasons, I think?
I think that's what it was, yep.
Yeah. The thing with Netflix, the thing I like about Netflix, which I wish more people would do, is just give me all the shows at one time.
Right.
It's kind of like going to school. I'm much better self-studying. Like, just give me all the notes and I'll go in and study myself, you know?
Yeah, because like Amazon Prime or Hulu or whatever, when their shows come out, it's once a week.
Yeah.
And it's like that for like Apple TV or whatever. All those are all like once a week. And I'm like, I understand why, because they're trying to lure you in for the subscription or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same point, I'm like, well, if somebody really wants to watch it, why don't they just wait till it all comes out and then get the free 1 week subscription for the week and just binge it all and be done with it? You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, like I'm out.
And just cancel. Yeah.
That's what people were doing, like Disney. All right, I've seen the Obi-Wan series. I'm done. I'm canceling. I'll see when you guys bring back Baby Yoda. Yeah. Are you burnt out on IPAs? 57% yes. 43% no. Now, I'm going to say for me, I'm kind of in the camp where I'm kind of getting to the burnout stage on IPAs again. Here in Baltimore, going to the store, the shelves are 60 to 70% probably IPAs. I have to really dig to find other things that I want to get that aren't IPAs. What are the benefits, like where Todd's at, or because of the Cincinnati, that area, that region, you have a lot more breweries doing different stuff than what you have here. Like everybody's really focused on just the IPA. So I'm like, oh shit, is that a rock beer? Is that freaking a porter? Is that like, a source beer? I can find other stuff if I dig deep enough, but it takes more digging up here. So
for me, I would say no. Mostly because I think IPAs goes in so many different directions that you can have so many different types of IPAs that aren't really, in my opinion, aren't really even the same beer. I mean, you can say the same for stouts, I guess, but
Well, they've done so many different ones. So you take the IPA from 15, 20 years ago, where it was like kind of West Coast IPA or East Coast type thing. And now you have New England, now you have the hazy, now you have the double, you have the triple, you have the sour, you have all these different other types. You have the
right.
You have the different types of IPAs that are being done. It's like, okay, now you have a variety inside that segment, which makes it more interesting.
Yeah. And I'd say for that reason alone. Now, if it was the same, whatever, then yes, probably so. But I think there's just so much variety of it. It's, for me anyway.
Didi said, anyone watching Evil? I have not watched it. I've seen the previews. The guy that's like the lead character was the guy that played Luke Cage in Netflix. And it looks interesting. I wouldn't mind watching it. I just never see when it's actually on or which channel even watch it on. But I've seen like scenes for it.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's fantastic, though.
Yeah. And the Big Daddy, he must love Deadwood. He's like, Deadwood also walked. Yeah. Deadwood was my wife really liked it. I didn't even watch the Deadwood movie when it came out because he came out with a movie for it. When I watch TV, it's difficult to commit to it. It is difficult sometimes to commit to a series. It's like, trying to get even a movie nowadays, right? So I finally just watched The Batman, which I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed it. It was pretty damn good. The whole situation with the way he was kind of really more, I don't want to spoil for people, I don't know how to say it, but it was kind of the whole fighting if he's more Batman or if he's more Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And which one is really the alias. And I thought Zoe was great as Catwoman. The guy that did the Riddler was pretty good. Colin Farrell I can't even recognize as Penguin.
I heard he was really good in that.
Yeah, and it was a good story. I mean, it's a 3-hour movie, but you enjoyed it all the way through. And a lot of movies now, like to commit for 3 hours is tough. So I DVR'd it back in April, and I just got a chance to finally watch it. But I'm glad I did. It was definitely worth watching, especially if you're kind of into the comic type books. Yeah,
it's a guy I work with. He's a big superhero comic book type fanatic geek, I guess you could say. I don't know, whatever. But he said he thought that was one of the top 2, maybe 3 Batmans that they've made so far.
Yeah.
He said any given day of the top 3, in his opinion, could change depending on the mood he was in to watch it. Because he said it is, like you were saying, it isn't your normal, typical like Batman type movie.
Yeah. I would say the Christian Bale ones were ones I liked maybe a little bit more. Like the first Christian Bale one, when he takes over the identity as Batman, I really enjoyed. But the second one I also enjoyed too, with Heath Ledger as the Joker. And even the third one with Tom Hardy being Bane. Which is kind of funny though. One thing I will say about the Batman movie is when you watch it, you're kind of like some of the talking of the Riddler. It's like he sounded like Bane in some parts. Like, what do you got no thing? Like, why do you sound like Bane? What's going on? But this one was out. It was a nice story of how Robert Pattinson played the role and put the pieces together. I still say one of the best Batmans was actually Michael Keaton, the original. When that movie came out in the 80s, he had a great character play of playing Batman. He had Jack Nicholson being the Joker. And that's just
I
You look
agree.
at it now,
Yeah.
you're like, it's kind of campy, but I mean, it's still one of those things that just overall it fits for those type of roles. Like, they were both. Jack Nicholson, you can't never be wrong with him playing any type of part. He wants to play.
Right.
He's always so good, and Michael Keaton really delivered as well.
I've always kind of felt like all the Batmans, I've always went back to that one.
Yeah.
Like, how
Michael
does it
Keaton was
compare to
solid
Michael
Batman.
Keaton? Yeah, like
And I think I don't know. I don't think they canceled the Supergirl series or there was something, but I think there was something where they were bringing him back as one of the Batmans and stuff too for that or something. So I don't know. He's good. He's pretty solid in that role. Speaking of good, I'm gonna crack open another beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one real quick. Be right back.
And so the beer I'm gonna crack open right now. Some of you guys have seen it before because I actually did have it on one of the shows. And this is going to be in lieu of Todd. I'm going to Michigan. But this is going to be a look here at the Dragon's Milk Reserve, 11% ABV. And this is the one that came out for the second release for 2022. 2022 Reserve number 2, bourbon barrel aged stout with soup waffle cookies, coffee, caramel, and cinnamon. Now, the first time I had it, I wasn't really sure what soup waffle was, but if you think of the tin of the Danish cookies that you get like at Aldi or like, I used to always get them around Christmas and stuff, but now you can get it Aldi anytime you want. It's kind of got that Danish cookie flavor to it, so that's what I'm cracking up right. This was a New Year trip going up to Holland that I had.
Oh, okay. Is that the second one for this year?
Yeah, it's the second one. It's a Stoop Waffle one. So
okay, that one's on tap, and the first one was on tap too.
Yeah, but if you like those Danish cookies, you want this beer.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
I do like those.
Yeah. It was so funny when I saw them at Aldi. I was like, I'm just saying when you were going. For me, it was always a reminder of Christmas because that's when I used to have them. Like my grandma would have them or something like that and everything. And then it's like, you could buy these year round. It's almost like now, when I used to fly all the time with Delta, I don't know what it was, but you get those little biscotti cookies on the Delta plane. You were like happy to get those little things. And now you can buy them at Kroger or whatever like that. It's like, I thought these were just for when you're in the air. Now you get them anytime you want it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like now they're not so special anymore.
It's like, how long have you guys been doing this? Yeah, so. But that's what I'm going to enjoy right now. This one also 11% ABV. Keeping it on 11% plain. Because I'm a high plains drifter.
We'll see. I'm gonna
boy shout out from back in the day.
See what they. I think I actually had one of these last week, but it was in finishing up the 12 pack that I had. It's the Atomic Torpedo.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've done a review on that yet. I still need to do a review on that one.
It's pretty tasty. I was pretty happy with that mix pack. Well, actually, the two's kind of their standards, but the two, this one and what was the other one that they had? Can't remember if it was this one. I think this was the one that Craig had gotten, but the other one he hadn't seen.
Sierra Nevada. You can't go wrong.
They're pretty tasty, though.
I heard Mine Hunters was a good show as well, DA.
I did. So I heard that also.
Yeah. EB in the house. Cheers, homie. What's going on, my friend?
What's up, EB?
Happy Thursday, homie. The other one I haven't watched as a series, which I would have watched. I have a DVD. I have it on Netflix. I only watched the first episode. Was Black Mirror. I saw they came back with another season, but Black Mirror is another one that I was wanting to get into. Which that's kind of an interesting series because each episode is its own episode.
Right. It's kind of like a Twilight type series or something, isn't it? Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Everybody's like, you got to watch the pig episode. I haven't seen the pig episode yet, I don't think. So, yeah. But did he work as usual? Yeah. Always working.
I thought I saw they took that one out of there, so I don't know if they even have it in the thing anymore or not. As part of the.
You think people got outraged by it?
Yeah, and I think they might have done away with that episode. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it seemed like I thought I heard or read that somewhere. For that reason.
Well, they could just cut the scene or something and kept everything else in it. I don't know.
Well, they may well have done that too.
50-50 now on the Are You Burnt Out of IPAs poll. So if you haven't filled that out, hit the poll. Let us know. Are you burnt out on IPAs? And Rod says IPAs are nice, but give me a well-made Pilsner or lager. But here's a Pilsner is a lager. We know he's doing it the other day on somebody's feed or whatever. Yeah, Pilsner is a lager. So there's so many nice lagers that I'm actually finding from different styles that are out there. Because I used to be more of an ale type person. So now that it's kind of like experimenting into some of the other lagers, I'm kind of enjoying the stuff that I'm finding. Stranger Things is solid and takes back to the 80s Goonies. So yeah,
it definitely does have that.
Goonies was on the other night, as a matter of fact. I started watching a little bit of that again. That is just, it's a funny movie to watch now just because of where, it gives you a nostalgia type feel too, but it takes you back. But seeing like James Brolin in it, and you see these other roles now, and it's like, but shit, James Brolin was like our age back then, like was 16, 17 years old or whatever, kind of as a big brother of the kid that plays Rudy, right? You see Sean Astin, and you're like, this is the kid that plays Rudy. You're seeing Corey Feldman, he's like, and the kid that was the Asian kid just came back for the first time in the movie because he had stopped doing movies for a while because of the stereotyping. He was actually back in a new movie where he's playing like the superhero type thing, which is pretty cool. But he was talking about that on one of the shows and stuff.
Wasn't he the same one that was in Indiana Jones, like the third one or whatever? Yeah.
No time for love, Dr. Jones. Okay, short round.
Yeah, short. Yeah.
We gotta go, Dr. Jones. No time for love. I love a good IPA, but the style is too overexposed and the market so oversaturated that, I say I'm burned out from them, especially some breweries that are overhyped and not that good. Yeah, I mean, everybody feels like they got to make an IPA, and that's what we were trying to talk about before a few times. Is it that people really want the IPA, or IPA is just being pushed on people so people don't know what other beers to maybe look for? They're just picking them or drinking them because that's what's being kind of thrown in front of them. Like you go to a bar and on draft you got 10 taps and 5 more IPAs, you're going to probably gravitate towards the IPAs.
I think it's a little bit of that for sure. I definitely say it's part of it.
Bart's in the house. Cheers, Bart.
What's up, Bart?
I'm going to say hello. Been a long day. Hit the bench here, but cheers. Always appreciate you, Bart, for swinging in, and definitely still got you posted to let you know when I'm back up in Jersey so we get together, grab a beer again, my friend. Got Erie in the house. Cheers, Erie. What is going on? I like the UAB are stopping in for a bit, taking a little break from Warzone there. We'll be Warzoning tomorrow night, I'm sure.
What's up, Erie?
Somewhat burnt out American IPA unless they're really good, but still old school Brit style IPA. Nothing wrong with that. Going back, it's nice when you go back to the classic of the style and you sit back and really enjoy and appreciate where it came from. Everything they hear the stuff now with the new stuff being done, but when I sat down and had Sierra Nevada Pale Ale a couple months ago, it was just nice to re-experience that for the classic that actually was as a pale ale.
Yeah.
Came in on a morbid ass story. Well, I don't know. We've had a couple things we were talking about, but we're always up at some point here. So the Ozarks also, you should really watch it. Yeah, I guess the last season is now out now, right? So at one point I was going to watch it, and it was like season 3 was supposed to be the end of it. And they're like, "Oh, we're going to do another season." I'm like, really?
Well, the last season was split into 2 7-episode seasons, basically.
Yeah.
So season 4, yes, it's like season 4A and season 4B.
He said, "Call out, butcher, call 450 North, call." Yeah. Well, 450 North is now pretty much a slushy brewery, right? Mm-hmm. And Hop Butcher does make some good IPAs. Don't get me wrong, there's some good IPAs that are out there. But I would tell you with Hop Butcher, they do a good double, they do a good triple, they do a good regular. But I enjoyed more of their stouts than I did really the IPA. And the IPAs were good, but the stouts were really good because I wasn't maybe expecting it to come from them. So they can make other ones out there. But again, IPA is probably their bread and butter. Star Trek Voyager best for 7 of 9 alone. Big Daddy said, all right, yeah, we got some love for Jerry Hallwell. We got some love for Jerry, yeah. Is she a Borg? Okay, I'll be a Borg. Sign me up for parts. I've been on IPAs for 5 years, Dee says. Yeah. I go through spots. Gotta try North now. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but I saw they're a distro in now, but it's like $10 a can. Don't pay that. I mean, unless that's the only way you can get it, but
yeah. Well, nobody's stopping you. You got some series. Definitely put them out there. It's your world, girl. Your world.
You're a big FX guy, right? Have you started watching any of that series, The Old Man?
Has it started?
Yeah, it's
Bridges?
Yeah, Jeff Bridges. Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
I didn't know it started yet. I thought it was like still getting set up. No,
I've got a couple episodes to catch up on, but I've watched the first 3. I think it's let's see. I think it's only 8 episodes, and they're on. Oh, there's only been 4 of them out. So okay. So I guess I've only watched the first 2 then. Because I've got 2 left on DVR to watch.
Okay. I'll have to
see. The episode 5 comes out tonight.
Yeah.
It's pretty good though. I like it.
I'll have to look at the DVRs. I can set it for the other episodes and go back and watch the other ones then. So,
yeah.
Nobody ever said I'm burnt out on Belgian claws. You're right, Gilbert. I can drink Belgian claws till the cows come home.
Yes.
Yeah. You are correct, sir. Evil is funny as hell. It's Paramount Picture, but you can find it for free. Just saying, because Dee knows. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's on Crackle or one of them type of things, but I think some people are getting it for free out there. Is that Fire Sticks?
Fire Sticks?
What's Fire Sticks? I thought you meant Firefly, but that was like a series that didn't last long. Oh, Fire Sticks to watch anything for free. I got you.
Yeah. That's all
we just say Fire Stick in the States, so the plurals kind of threw me off there. That's all I'm saying. The Fire Sticks, or maybe it's called a Canada version. Maybe it's like McDowell's and McDonald's. You got that Fire Stick, son? No, we got those Fire
Stick. Yeah. Not with an X, but.
Well, Dark Knights. What are you talking about? You don't like the Dark Knight series? Come on. Be careful, Michigan Tide. Throw Eric and Millers away while you're there. Eric's Millers, yeah.
Yep.
He only drinks Millers once he's tired. He's ran down for the craft beer. Yeah. Drinking for me, fellas. Like a drink of you guys working. Yeah, I know. Thursday nights, you're usually there making those dollars, but
somebody's got to.
Hopefully, you're enjoying some pretty good cigars. Trez is always enjoying some nice cigars stuff. He'll post stuff on Instagram and stuff too. So,
need to try some of those Cubans my brother brought back from Mexico.
Oh hell yeah, you do.
He hasn't even opened the box yet. He had some while he was there, but he hasn't. He's like. Keeps bringing them every time we go to the golf course, and we haven't done them yet.
Well, we had a big swing in the poll on the IPA. 67 said they are not burnout now. Just 33 saying yes. So now we got the nose actually taking over. George Clooney was the worst Batman. Did you say George Clooney was worse than Val Kilmer?
What about Ben Affleck? Ben
Affleck actually surprisingly was better. I thought he was going to be as Batman.
George Clooney wasn't that good either, though.
But neither was Val Kilmer. So
no, Val Kilmer was, yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty. I would, for me though, I'd put Ben Affleck right up there too, though.
You thought Ben Affleck was bad as Batman?
He wasn't my favorite, but
He was surprisingly better. For me, he was better. I thought he was going to be kind of like Robert Pattinson was as Batman. Although I would say Robert Pattinson was better Batman than Ben Affleck was. Ben Affleck was just better than I thought he was going to be.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he was great, but he was better than he probably would have thought he was going to be. Yes.
He's not going to show it on the Batman. Like, this year's Batman award goes to, no, he's not going to win anything. Like
Right.
Yeah. But he was just better than I thought he was going to be. Of course, as far as Wonder Woman go, what's going to play Wonder Woman in the Wonder Woman movies? Gal Gadot. They did pretty good casting with her being Wonder Woman. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I could watch Wonder Woman 1984. That was too campy. I had to turn that off. That was just not going to get into it. They had a chick on there from Saturday Night Live. I just couldn't get her in the role. It was just.
Yeah.
I was like 10 minutes in. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
But I'm pretty sure she could play any role, and you're gonna watch. We'd watch her anyway, no matter what. I
don't know if you remember, but she was a Fast and Furious for the movies as part of it.
Yeah, nice you say that. I kind of do.
Yeah, she was a. Yeah, Gal Gadot can do whatever she wants. Your world, Gal. Your world.
It's your oyster. You do what you want.
Gal Gadot, Gal got it.
Oh, did she?
Messing around 11%. Damn, yeah, 11%. I don't even know if there's my tolerance with beers has gotten so much over the years higher. I mean, I had early training. We went to the number one party school for college in the country, so we did a lot of partying as this keeps building. I mean, when you actually think Everclear is part of your regular diet, because there's no down from that point, right? So, but yeah, a couple 11%. I won't even tell you what the third beer is that I have here, but it'll be a Kappa. So, and then get up and work 8 hours tomorrow and call it the weekend.
Well, see, I did cut back a little bit on this one. It's 8.2, so you know.
Yeah. This is kind of like my cheat night from working out too. So it's like,
get it in while you can. I
got the calories in and kept it to a limit on the food because I was filling the rest up with alcohol.
We tend to do that a lot.
At the end of the night, my Fitness Pal looks great on paper, but I know it's going to feel it at some point.
Yeah,
like up to extra cardio tomorrow.
Looks good, but didn't feel so good.
Adam West is the only Batman. Watching Batman as a kid now, you look back like that was such a campy show, but as a kid, watching that Batman was good.
Bam, zow, wow, pow. Yeah. What do you mean?
It was Val Kilmer was a close second. Yeah, Kilmer was bad on there. I was like, how are you going to do Batman is bad after you do Doc Holliday so well? It's like,
I know, right? Yeah.
Pilsner, lager, yeah, Pilsner's a lager. I don't. That's what it is. I don't know if you know that, Rod, or not, but yeah, Pilsner is a lager. There's only two styles of beer: ales and lagers, really. And Pilsner is under the lager category. Did y'all see Gaslit? It was really well done. No, I have not seen Gaslit. That would be another one to check out. That was Netflix or whatever.
I think so.
Lord of the Rings series starts August 2nd. Hoping for good things. Well, yeah, I haven't heard about that one. You know, I never watched the Hobbit movies.
Honestly, I haven't either.
I did the other ones, like the what was the main one with Gandalf the Grey? You Shall Not Pass. The first, like that, but I never got into them when it came out with the Hobbit type series. Oh, hell yeah, Todd. Smoke those Cubans for sure, right? Yeah. I forgot about Val Kilmer. Terrible. Well, yeah, Val Kilmer was pretty bad. On the Henderson Brewing Figo Italian Pilsner. There you go. Gilbert's rolling some lagers tonight.
I say Val Kilmer was more of a miss in most movies than he was a hit in most movies.
You think his best role was probably Doc Holliday?
Oh, I probably hands down. I don't even think it's even close, probably.
Yeah. He was good in, I think he was in True Romance. I think he was good in that one.
I mean, he had his moments and times, but
he was good in Heat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
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 But you're probably right. He probably had some more movies that were kind of on the lower A scale because he's an actor, so like the lower A scale.
Yeah. That was kind of like, really? Why you? Yeah. Okay.
I wonder if those guys ever look back at some of the movies they did like in the 80s. Like, what was I thinking when I took that role? Like,
Well, most of the actors always have those roles where when they're first starting out getting their feet wet, they're just taking stuff to get paid. And then they look back and they're like, damn, what the hell did I do that for?
Ben Affleck was just shit movie altogether. So he didn't look as bad because the whole background was just shit anyway, right? So it made him look better. He did better than I thought he was going to do. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he was the greatest Batman, but he just did better than I thought. Have y'all seen it? Yes, I've seen the trailer for Nope, and I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Me too.
It's funny because the trailer. See, here's the thing, like, because I don't know if everybody else gets something like that and everything, but it's like when shit happens, the Trez will probably laugh when I say this, but like in the Black community, it's like you see some shit go crazy, you're like, nope. Like, so it's funny because he has a movie, no. So that's kind of, I don't know, kind of an inside joke that we actually have.
I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure.
Like, nope, not going to do that. Like,
nope,
that's just like,
nope.
See a tornado outside? Nope, not going.
That's like, that's what I was going to say. Like, there's a comedian or something who's like, see a tornado, and all the white people go looking out, like trying to get close to it, but all the black people will go backwards and be like hiding and shit.
That's what the comedians will be like. You see something happening, and the black guy will run away, and the white guy's like, "I'm going to see what's going on up here."
Yeah. What's he running from? Let me go see. Yeah.
I'm going to go investigate. And it got, again, it's so funny just with Jordan Peele because you know him so much from Key and Peele doing the comedy stuff. And his movies are just, he's great at these like kind of horror type thriller type movies that he's doing. So yeah, I would like to see that one. I'll probably wait till I get on HBO Max or something like that because nowadays a lot of them are like on HBO Max like 45 days or so.
Right. Yeah, I do. Do want to see that one.
He was good at that. He was good at Top Gun. From the parts I saw as Ice.
I was going to say he was good in that one, and then we went and saw the new Top Gun a week or so ago.
Oh, did you? What did you think of it?
It was pretty. I think I liked it a lot better than she did, but I thought it was pretty damn good.
I mean, I heard a lot of people say they liked it better than the first one, even.
Yeah, it's been so long since I've seen the first one, but she watched it like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so she said she liked the first one better, but I think, didn't you, Shannon, like the first Top Gun better?
I don't know.
Or they kind of, she left.
She's thinking about the volleyball scene.
Rod said you're thinking about the volleyball scene. She said shit.
Man, not a boy.
She said she likes a man, not a boy. But it's pretty good. But I was gonna say, it made me think of Val Kilmer because in that movie, what was wrong with Val Kilmer in that movie?
He had some kind of throat cancer.
Yeah, he had some sort of like throat cancer or something. He couldn't really talk or anything in that. Very little.
So he was in the movie?
Yeah, he was in the movie.
Oh, I know they had a picture of him. I saw one of the things, but I know he talked about where he wanted to be part of it more.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just upset because he didn't do more for it. So.
Does he actually have throat cancer?
Something's wrong.
Yeah, he does.
Real life? Yeah. Because he was barely talking, but he had a really small part. But
Val Kilmer's Batman does have a great cast, and Val stuck out like a kid on a birthday cake. Oh yeah. Yeah, they digitally reconstructed his voice. Oh, okay, so that's what they actually did for him in that then. Yeah, I know, like I said, they had an interview with him or talking about him where I guess he would kind of wanted to be more involved in it, but obviously couldn't because of his voice and everything. So. Oh
yeah, well, he sounded really. You hardly understand what he was saying. He was so that makes sense. Like when he was talking, it was like very gargly kind of sounding.
Yeah. But I think for the most part, most people aren't burnt out on IPAs yet. 64% to 36% so far.
Are not.
Are not. So, third of the people tired of the IPAs. And I think that's kind of fitted out there. Because You hear people grumble about not having other beer choices, but it's not a huge amount, but it's definitely a substantial amount. So
I think with the IPAs and stouts, there's just so many variances of those that I don't think you get with other styles. Like a brown ale, there's just not that many variances of a brown ale. You know what I mean? Like it's just a brown ale or a Hefeweizen. It's kind of just a Hefeweizen, you know?
yeah.
And I think that's the difference. I just don't think there's as many branches for that style of beer or a style of beer, not just those in general, but
Yeah. Here's a question for you and for everybody watching. Non-beer related, but since we've been talking about all these movie type stuff like that in different roles, what is the worst role? What's the best role and the worst role that Arnold Schwarzenegger ever played?
oh,
The best and the worst. I gotta think the worst might be Last Action Hero, because I think that was a terrible movie.
that was pretty bad.
But then I think about the script around Commando, and I'm like, wasn't really a great script there either. So.
You know, well, I know it's not an action type movie, but I think one of his better movies that he did for him, especially, was like Twins,
Twins was actually an entertaining movie.
which isn't one you would think of. I don't think when you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, you always think of the Predators and the.
Oh, you also do True Lies. He was pretty funny in True Lies in the role.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, he did. He was in that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, JT hit the one I was thinking at as far as like the best or favorite one. I think Conan was a great movie that he actually done. Although he didn't have as many of the talking parts. He was just learning English at the time through some of that. But yeah, Conan
That was
classic. Yeah.
Was that probably his first movie he ever
That was
did?
the first movie he ever did. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I still watch Conan when it's on. If I flip it through when Conan's on, or usually like a late night type thing, and I flip and it's like going, it's like, oh. And I'll be watching, get hooked into it again.
I'll be right back. Dogs acting like they need out again. Those motherfuckers drive me nuts sometimes.
Some dogs got small bladders or something. Dogs need to go out. But I'm trying to think of the worst. Last Action Hero was a pretty bad movie, so of course you talk about the best movie. He was good at Terminator too. So what do you do with the Terminator movie?
Terminator, yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Without when I said Twins, like Terminator, and you don't think of those Commando kind of action type Predator movie, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, but the worst one.
Oh, you know what other one you have to throw up there? I think is one of his better movies too. Is like Kindergarten Cop.
Kindergarten Cop was a good movie.
That was good. He was good in that.
That's probably the one that showed a side of humor in Arnold Schwarzenegger. He probably didn't.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. He was good in Kindergarten Cop. That was one of his better ones for sure. Yeah.
Trying to think worst movies. I almost have to pull them up now just to see what to remember all the movies. I'm sure there's a lot of bad ones in there for sure.
Cheers, Daryl in the house. What is going on?
What's
Cheers,
up, Daryl?
It's been a while. Hercules in New York was awesome. That's all one that he did. I think he did that after Conan back in the day.
I've never seen that one.
You watch Secret of Lamentations of the one. James Earl Jones. Cheers, my friend. Hopefully all has been going well, Daryl. Most of his movies are the worst. But was it worse because of Arnold, or was it worse just because of the writing? Like, I think like a True Lies movie really stands out versus, if you look at him versus the Commando. I mean, he was Predator. He was really good in Predator. Predator's a good entertainment movie. But you're not in there to really, you're there for the action and adventure more than maybe the deepening of the plot type thing, you know?
Right. Which you can say that up for a lot of people, though, I guess.
Yeah. Or you can say that for Stallone a lot, too. So.
Yeah. Yes, especially him, for sure.
You ever to watch Rocky with subtitles? I'm just saying.
Adrian! Hey, yo.
He punch drunk, or is he just really talking like that? Like, what's he saying? He's not even fighting anybody yet, and I can't understand him. So yeah. He's done some bad movies. Oscar. Schwarzenegger did that movie too when he got pregnant, right? What was that movie where Schwarzenegger was carrying a baby? He's having a baby or something, like they impregnated a man. That was a Schwarzenegger movie.
I think that was the name of it.
Yeah. Terminator and Iceman. Iceman. Well, you talking about Iceman when he played the Ice or Mr. Freeze in the Batman movies? That was not a good role for him.
Let me see.
Oh, that was his first. Hercules was before Conan. Okay, I thought Conan was his first movie. It's free on YouTube. YouTube does have some free movies on there. Total Recall. Is it good or bad for Total Recall? True Lies is pretty good, but I just don't think of Arnold as a great or even good actor. He mostly plays stuff. Yeah, but I mean, it's just the roles that he's kind of in. It's kind of like certain actors, like Nicolas Cage. It's like how many Nicolas Cage movies you see, he's pretty much like kind of in the same character in all of them. They just change a little bit of the story or whatever like that. Or Keanu Reeves sometimes. Although Keanu does have a wider range over the last few years. I've seen him do stuff that I expected him to have.
He was actually, Hercules in New York was his first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was in, so I don't know if he was just made appearances in. Oh, yeah, uncredited. So he was in like The Long Goodbye. And then, let's see, what's that TV show? Then he was in Stay Hungry, which he's on the cover. In that one. So that was all. Those were all before Conan the Barbarian.
Well, Mr. Mom was Michael Keaton when he lost his job.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty good movie with Michael Keaton playing him. Remember the Michael Keaton movie where he cloned himself? That was actually a pretty funny movie too.
Oh, we did it like 7 different times or whatever.
Yeah. He's like, no one sleeps with the wife, and the one slept with the wife. Like,
what the hell? What the hell was the name of that movie? That was pretty good.
The rule was nobody sleeps with the wife. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and then he had like the really like dumb kind of like
The fourth copy or something was worse. So it was like, what was that one? That was duplication. It was what was the Mr. Mom copy?
Dang on, what the hell is the name of that one? I can look it up. I got my phone right here in my hand.
It's like a one-word title too. Multiplicity. That's what it was. Multiplicity.
Oh yeah, Multiplicity. Yeah.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
that was funny.
I watched Conan in the theater when I was like 12 with my friend and his dad, and he made us leave when he was banging the horse. You boys go get popcorn.
Yeah. He was trying to go to the bathroom.
We'll get some Raisinets.
That's funny.
Oh, there's a question. What's your favorite movie candy?
Favorite movie candy. I always just like the what the hell are those called? The just the chocolate. Oh, Snow Caps. I always like the Snow Caps.
The Snow Cap? You were a Snow Caps kid? Wow. I never really got the Snow Caps. I was always a big Reese's Pieces, Juju Fruits, or Juicy Fruit. Was it Juicy, whatever it was? Like they get stuck in the roof of your mouth.
Yeah. Pull out all your cavities and everything in them.
Didn't really do the
honestly, I didn't really get candy a lot at the theater. I usually just got popcorn and a drink or something.
I used popcorn. I wasn't ever a huge popcorn person, so I used to get the candy. Yeah.
But she would always get the popcorn and then like a box of milk duds and pour in them. And pour in the popcorn to where it kind of melts a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we were kids going to the drive-in, there was something about getting like, a burger or a hot dog at the drive-in and watching the movie up there, in the car. It was like, I don't know, it was kind of like it was like a nostalgia type thing where it was like kind of just, you looked forward to it as a kid. Like that was just a fun time, where you're watching a movie on the swing or something like that. You get out there at the playground and stuff there. And
shit, we wasn't allowed to get stuff from there. We go to the drive-in. My dad would make a big old bowl of popcorn, butter it all up, and take your own. Of course, he was drinking. He was drinking his beer, and we just had to drink sodas or water or whatever.
You never had to go into the snack bar or anything?
Yeah, there wasn't no concession stand going at that time.
Could you go to the Jungle Gym set, the play thing, or you had to stay in the car?
No, yeah, we could do that before like the movies started or whatever, and then.
I remember people
Of course, that was when I was little, so I never hardly ever made it up for the second movie.
Yeah.
I was always asleep, passed out in the back seat or something.
I remember they used to pack people in the trunk of cars and stuff too, because it was like 4 hours for a car. You see people pull it and people get out in the trunk. It's like, what the hell? It's like, like a Coolio video, Fantastic Voyage or something. Like, yeah, get into the theater.
So there's a I guess you could say it's a porn shop. I guess they sell the magazines and they have the girls and shit in there or whatever. But back when I was a kid, it used to they had a drive-in too. It's called Theater X. But when I was a kid, they had a drive-in that would show shit on at the drive-in. It was like porn movies or whatever at the drive-in.
But you know what? For the people that have to clean up, they probably have to.
Oh, shit.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. For that reason. Yeah.
Your own mess. Don't have them come in here.
And I can always remember because you could see it a little bit from the road, but you was far away.
Yeah.
But I remember as a kid not knowing at that time because I was too little to even realize. I remember every time we get to that point and it was late at night, the car would slow down. You'd be like driving real slow by there, like, as you get older, you're like, shit, I know what they were doing now.
You down to a little bit slower, yeah. That's like back in the day when you had cable and the system was scrambled. You were trying to get it just to come in right in the picture. You're like, boo, boo.
They holler back, don't come out of your room. Like, why? Because I said so.
Oh man, kids today don't know about the 70s and 80s.
Yes, to be out scrambled. Like, what? You had a boob up in this corner, a boob down here. You're like, what's going on? I don't even understand what's happening here. Then you can dial in the channel just right. You can sort of get black and white, kind of scramble,
Back in the 80s, kids were engineers. Nick Cage was better when he was younger. He was pretty good. Yeah, he was really good. I liked him. Some of the stuff he did. I mean, Leaving Las Vegas was a great movie that he did, and he still has good roles. It's just a lot of his things now when you see him, you can almost take him from one character to the other, and kind of all fit, where you can kind of interchange them. If you react to Hercules in New York, it will be hilarious. Maybe I do that for the reaction channel at some point there, because I'm going to branch out more from the music stuff. I just haven't done it yet, but yeah. I know about that movie. I just thought it was after Conan, so that's interesting. Nick Cage was good at Con Air.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Was pretty good, yeah. Just put the bunny down. But he still has that drawl when he talks. So it's like, put the bunny down.
Yeah, right. What was his first movie, Valley Girl? Do you remember Valley Girl?
I don't remember his first movie. No. I remember Valley Girl, but I don't know if that was his first one.
Yeah, I was say he was in Valley Girl, but
he had one in the 80s where he was a vampire, which was pretty funny too. Because he was like, didn't realize he was a vampire. He was trying to figure out what was going on with him.
We'll see.
Maria Conchita Alonso. Best Van Damme rolls next. That might be a short cover. What was the best Van Damme role, right? Like,
I mean, did he actually have a good one?
I would say for Van Damme, it would probably be Kickboxer.
Yeah, that was
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the other one I was thinking of? Nicolas Cage. It was Con Air, and then Face Off. Face Off was a good one too.
Yeah. Oh, Big Days. I watched Conan in the theater when I was like, oh yeah, when he made him laugh. That's what he was talking about. Oh. JT was laughing at Big Daddy's comment about having to leave when they were having sex. Yeah, Mr. Freeze and the Batman. That was not the best Arnold Schwarzenegger role. Total Recall was decent. I like Total Recall. What was the one he did with the game show with Richard Dawson? He had to go into the
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That wasn't Total Recall, was it? Where he no, it was something Running Man. Running Man. That was actually off the Stephen King book too. Yeah, the Running Man was. You look at it now and it's just like the graphics you laugh at, but you know, back then it was entertaining.
So Nicolas Cage's first, I think, actual movie was Valley Girl, but it says he was credited in Fast Times at Ridgemont High too.
Was he in Fast Times? Is a classic movie,
but I don't remember him in that one though. That was just on like regular TV the other day, and I was watching some of it, but I don't remember.
He might be a background character in that one.
Maybe, but Valley Girl.
Ridgemont High. Jeff Spicoli eating a pizza in class.
Yeah. Yes.
And Judge Reinhold at the pool with Phoebe Cates. Those are the two things I remember the most.
Right.
Don't come in right now.
Yeah, I got some water in my ear. There's Q-tips in her bathroom. Okay. He's like, oh, does anybody knock?
Oh, Phoebe Cates. She was back in the day. She was one of the ones, you know. Yeah. Well, I figure it was your time. It's my time, so it's our time. He's like, you are correct. He's like giving out his pizza. He's like.
Yeah, I think they said like that part in that movie where she comes out of the swimming pool, you know, without her top on or whatever. Well, you know, back then with the video cassettes, that was like the most like stretched out. Yeah, like the most like people were. Yeah.
Hold it right there. Yeah, that was that's one of those classic scenes from back in the day. Yeah. But that made her like a household name for a lot of young boys. So.
Yeah.
Trez says M&M's were his favorite. Is his favorite theater candy.
M&M's.
Which isn't too much off of Reese's Pieces. That's what I usually have.
Which M&M's?
Oh, we lost Todd there on the M&M. The top pops back up here.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, back now.
Our daughter was chiming in something on her iPad, so everything comes through her iPad too with her phone.
Yeah.
So I was saying that the regular M&Ms or like the peanut M&Ms.
Yeah.
If he's still on there. I know
it's funny. I watched the this past weekend, so July 4th. I don't know if you saw it or not, because one of my favorite shows to actually watch the Food That Built America, as you know.
Oh, I watch it all the time now.
And a marathon on July 4th.
Yeah.
And so they were showing it once. I never get to fully sit down and watch it. And I got a chance to watch it this time. Was the whole Reese's and Hershey's and Baby Ruth, the whole candy bar type thing. But it was just like interesting watching the whole thing. Like the guy that built the Reese's, he was pretty much on his last type leg and came up with the peanut butter cup, you know, and ended up basically getting challenged by Hershey's, but instead of Hershey shut him down, Hershey said, well, you'll just use Hershey's chocolate and we'll get a royalty off of it. And then it launched Reese's into being able to be sold and stuff. And like how the guy that made the Baby Ruth took Babe's name and put it on it. And then Babe tried to come out with a home run bar. And he sued Babe Ruth in court for him not to be able to do it because of infringement. How do you sue somebody out of their own
that
name?
You're using their name? Yeah, right. Exactly.
And it's just like, wow, it's an incredible show with some of the stuff there.
Yeah, that show is really good. It is really good.
Yeah, the one they just came out this season is the Booze, Sex, and something else that built America.
Yeah, was it the Booze, Sex, and God, what was the rest of it? I did watch the first episode of that one. That was all I've seen.
Yeah, that's one of the series I like watching. And they had the one with the automobile, the autos that built America. But it's some interesting stories. And I tell you, it gets cutthroat with some of the stuff there for sure. And it was the one they were doing, the Domino's versus the Pizza Hut.
Oh yeah.
Which people don't realize, like really American pizza, those are the ones that kind of set the table, but they're out of the Midwest. Like everybody thinks New York pizza, Chicago pizza, but it was like these guys from Domino's and Pizza Hut, because the Pizza Hut guys are using French bread. Domino's kind of were doing their thing, and it was kind of like, it was a Midwestern thing that kind of came out, because most things you think of coming coast in, and this was Midwest out.
It was out, right?
And this is interesting there. And the one brother that got upset pretty much gave up his head from a business for a Volkswagen. And it's just like, I wonder how that went down later in life, like knowing what he gave up was just like, wow, it's crazy. Some of the stuff you see on there.
Yeah, some of because a lot of those get bought out for like $30,000, which in today's, it'd be like millions upon millions of dollars if you were to,
Yeah, it's like the guy that did the Volkswagen, he got out for the Volkswagen to give up his half or whatever, but in like today's market, like the business is now like worth 1.6 billion or something like that. And he gave out millions at that time. Jelly, do they have
Jelly Bellies?
Yeah, a fancy theater.
Yeah, no good. Yeah,
I haven't seen Jelly Bellies in a theater. You're living a good life, my friend. Now, if you're talking about stopping at Walmart or Walgreens and bringing them in, I
sneaking them in, yeah, right.
And they may not have done things like that in the past. So, back in the day, it was Ponderosa. I don't know if Ponderosas are still around as much, but back in the day, Ponderosa would have their hot bar. You go to Ponderosa ahead of time and get yourself some wings on kind of stuff. Put it in the wrap it up with some napkins. You'd have your girl have a big purse. Go to the movies after dinner. Break out some wings. Break out, different stuff. So yeah, back in the day.
I've done that before.
Yeah. See?
Brought out like a can of Coke or something, sitting there outside and like pop it open. Like, oh.
The funny thing is, last time I went to a movie, that is so much more common now. Like I hear people still doing that, and this is like, back in the day, you were like trying to hide the sound. Nowadays, it's just like
nobody cares, right?
Yeah, what? You looking at me? What?
Yeah. Well, I dare you to say something. Yes, Big Daddy, snow caps. See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah. Twizzlers and snow caps. I do like some Twizzlers for sure. I want to be a Nazi roid experiment too and make shitty movies. Nick Cage is supposed to be the lead in Lord of the Rings, and God, he turns it down. I'm not a fan of his. Yeah. I can't see him being like the lead in Lord of the Rings. I think that's a whole totally different.
Yeah. It's kind of funny when you think about that. Like you see, like actors that were supposed to land X job or whatever, and then the person that gets it, and you're like, you just see them as that role. You know what I mean? Like, well, for Nicolas Cage, it's like, yeah, I could never see him doing that.
Yeah, I think The Matrix was one that Will Smith was supposed to be the lead, and he turned it down, and that's how Keanu Reeves ended up getting the role.
Yeah, so that'd be I don't know. You see it in TV all the time too. Yeah. It's like,
yeah, you mean at the cost of what it costs to go. I tell you what, right now people are still sneaking in junk food, probably even more nowadays. Hit a Carl's Jr., throw a couple burgers in. The big purses for coming back.
I'll tell you what, when we went to see Top Gun the other day, a couple weeks ago, we had a gift card that some good friends of ours bought for Christmas, and I guarantee it was at least 7-8 years ago, probably. Had no date on it, so I didn't even know if it was even any good or not. Still, we went in, and apparently it must have been like $50 on it. So we bought our tickets, bought the popcorn combo, which was like the large popcorn, 2 large Cokes, and we only paid like $1.80 for all of it.
Really?
Yeah. And it was one of those nice theaters where you got to recline in the seats and stuff. That's how long it's been. Is we had never been to a theater where they had the seats that reclined or leather or whatever. It was super nice.
Are there theaters without reclining seats now? I wonder.
I don't know. Like I said, it's been so long since we've been to the movies. I don't even know what the last movie was until we just went recently that we actually saw.
Let's see this thing here. They could have done better with the writing on this bottle. God damn it, dogfish head. Come on, man.
Well, my dog's in real quick. Be right back.
All right. So I'm about to crack open another beer here, which will be the coup de grace of the evening. It is the Utopia's barrel-aged worldwide stout. So this is another one that I have here for the collection. I was trying to see what the ABV was on it, but I could not see it there on the label. So I will look here on the trusty Untapped app. So this one, sleep well, like night. About to go Kevin Hart, night. This one comes in at 17.3% ABV.
Ooh, the Utopia. I had that one.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's
a big boy there.
Couple 11s at 17.3.
Yeah, just a little night.
I should sleep good tonight. So yeah.
Especially after not having beer all week.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't want to put these into my fitness pal because it's going to be like, what the hell were you doing? I put them in there. I might be under calorie count still. I might still be under calorie count. We'll see.
You know, that app does work pretty good.
Oh, it does. I mean, it keeps showing track on everything. I'm already down like, I think 10 pounds over the last 2 weeks or something from the workout. The thing is, like, because you play baseball as an athlete, you know how to train your body to do stuff. You know how to do nutrition. You know how to do that
right.
Stuff. So it's just putting the plan back together. So what you do,
right?
Like, women like, I can't believe you lose that weight so fast. It's like I know how to train my body because I was like, an athlete, or I did this kind of stuff before. So I know not to do this, eat this, work out, do this stuff. Do a little high intensity training on the treadmill and stuff like that and everything, and it's like starts dropping the weight back down.
Well, you you're almost have to do as much training on eating the right things as you do working out. You know what I mean? Like you get used to eating X amount of food, and all of a sudden you're cutting that in half or whatever. Less than what you was eating. Then you're like, so your body has to recondition itself to get used to that.
Prez was M&M with the peanuts.
Oh yeah, there you go. M&M's with peanuts is one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah. You said you've had the M&M's with the fudge right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Those fucking, that's like crack. That's like
those
crazy.
are.
You ever had the M&M's?
So good.
Brownie, and the caramel are pretty good too. Take the caramel ones that you mix
yes.
with the brownie ones.
Ooh, I never tried that one.
Fireworks in your mouth.
I like taking those fudge ones and putting them in the refrigerator and eating them cold. But I feel like you need a big old glass of cold milk with it, though.
I got Reese's peanut butter cups in the fridge right now.
Ooh, you can't beat that right there.
Milk
I always said, which I know they do a little bit now, have a little bit of a mixed bag of peanuts. But I always feel like just have all the peanuts they ever made and just throw them all in one bag. And it's just whatever, random. Yeah.
Some peanuts. Milk Duds, Gilbert was a favorite. Crab pizza. My crab Domino's and Pizza Hut. Yeah, the funny thing is that they built the pizza thing, but if you ask me where I'm going to order pizza from, those two would never come up in the conversation.
Right.
Yeah. Eric in the house, Thomas Meadow. What's going on? Cheers, homie. Good to see you. Thomas Meadow, check out his channel. And good seeing the stuff that you guys got rocking with the band and everything, too. So Eric says,
oh, yeah.
Yep. They've been doing with his band and everything. He's great on the drums, so check his stuff out as well. I don't know if you put that up on your channel where you do the beer and stuff too. I'm so far behind catching up on things. Hopefully you're sharing that there as well, Eric.
Eric, do you still do the old gaming? You still have your old gaming system?
Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah. Big Daddy's an F Will Smith. Why you got an F Will Smith? Because with the five fingers say to the face, slap. Will Smith went Charlie Murphy. You went Rick James old Charlie Murphy. Top Gun Maverick, not too bad, he said. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good.
I think it went over like 500 million or something the first weekend or something like that. It was a high number, I know. Is I ran the bad guys? I guess depends who you ask. Somebody's always bad to somebody.
Right.
Onto a flame Vienna lager. You winded it down, Gilbert? You down to Vienna lagers now? Taking it light, my friend? Starting to feel it a little bit. I still have the Meme Arcade. Yeah, man. So he still has that. So he's still doing it.
Okay, nice.
Here's a question for you. Favorite, and for everybody in the chat as well, favorite old school, I'm talking about stand-up arcade game. Go.
Oh, I got a couple. I got a couple.
See what you got. Let's see what you got. Favorite stand-up old school arcade game.
One for sure.
Games in the 80s, I apologize. I'm just saying that's when the arcades were the dominant factor.
One for sure for me was Gauntlet. I always like Gauntlet.
Ooh, Gauntlet, good call. I like Gauntlet. Gauntlet's a good call.
Because that was like one of the first ones where you could actually have more than just two people playing at the same time. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Also would have to be Punch Out, just because that was also, I think, one of the first ones that had like the screen on top. And I remember going to the arcade and there'd be people lined up for forever waiting to play.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite character on Gauntlet at all, or?
I always liked
I know there was a warrior. There was a one chick character.
Yeah, it wasn't her. What was the? Wasn't there one that had the? Oh God.
Like a wizard, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, kind of like had like a bow and arrow or something.
Bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I
always like that one. I can't remember if it was like a big, almost like a big ogre looking dude, but I don't think that was him though. It wasn't him. Yeah, Gauntlet was always cool. I always liked that one.
Let's see here. Eric said Tempest, but for my youth, it was either Street Fighter 2 or Eric. And you know what? I like that you said that. I don't see people giving Tempest enough love from back in the day. That was actually a fun game.
That was a fun one too.
That was from Atari, and that was one of my favorites. And I would think for me, favorite from back then. Oh man, it is a tough question, isn't it? So. You had Galaga, which is a top-notch game. Galaga is still freaking fun to play.
Oh yeah.
Track and field.
Oh well, yeah, that's always still.
Track and field. It was like game. I mean, track and field. People had systems. You know, you bring in the pencil with rubber bands. You know, all kinds of ways to hit the buttons and stuff.
So I've got similar type of setup as Eric does, I think, for the arcade or whatever. So track and field's one of the most ones I play down when I get on it.
Yeah. NBA Jam was probably.
Oh, that was a good one.
You talk about the four-player type thing. The cool thing about NBA Jam is that one, it was a great way to have fun with playing it, but two, if you won, you got to stay on for free.
Oh yeah.
Whoever challenged the other team had to pay to come in to play, so you could play that for. It was like playing basketball at the actual courts, where if you won, you stayed on. Visitors had to step up to play. Which back in the day, my favorite team, Orlando Magic, Shaquille and Anthony,
right?
Penny and Shaq. Forget about it. You ain't stopping them. Going back into the 80s, though, another basketball game was Arch Rivals.
Oh, yeah.
The other guys and stuff like that and everything.
Arch Rivals.
You also had Spy Hunter, which was proper.
I was going to say Spy Hunter.
We had a sit-down one where you actually drove on that, which was pretty cool. But Tempest, like they said there, that was actually a huge... one that was really, really big, especially like mid-'80s, that I put a lot of quarters into, fucking Missile Command.
Oh, Missile Command.
Missile Command was crazy. And then it's such when you were like out of missiles and they still had them coming down, and you're like, go up, like miss my spot, you know, type thing. So, yeah.
I was going to say, I think it was Commando. Do you remember that, Commando?
Not sure.
Where it was like I think it was, where they're like army guys, and you'd have to, like the screen would scroll down, but you'd have to fight your way up through. I think it was called Commando.
I thought it was. I think it's Contra you're thinking of.
No, well, it was similar to Contra, but that was more like Nintendo or whatever. I don't know. But did Contra have an actual stand-up game.
Yeah, oh yeah. We used to play that like kids too. Yeah,
So I remember that one.
and Double Dragon was another one I liked.
No,
Too.
Double Dragon was
Double
fun.
Dragon
Yeah.
was really good. Especially when you had a partner there. Your partner was like, "What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?" That was one of the first 2 games you yelled at your partner, like, "Help me
So you
out
get-
over here!" You know.
Until you get the guy coming out of the alley to beat your ass, and you're like, God dang it! Why didn't you get him?
Remember you had on that one, right? Yeah. Shinobi was a good one too. The Ninja Fighter, that was a good one as well. Well, Street Fighter was good.
I got to look that up. I think it was called Commando.
It might have been. Big Daddy said Dragon's Lair. Actually, Dragon's Lair.
I was going to say that one too.
That people like Dragon's Lair was one of those games you come over and try to play, and somebody was already there, and you'd have quarters stacked up top, like other people were waiting to actually play. So you had to like wait for a good amount of time to get on that one back.
Well, I think Dragon's Lair was like the first kind of like.
Gilbert says the whiskey is next.
I would say 16-bit, but whatever, like the top at that time, during the arcade games. I think that was like one of the first, like, kind of HD type. Yeah.
Yeah, and NBA Jam was the one that, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came after NBA Jam, but that was one that was actually fun to play as well. Oh my gosh, Ghosting Ghouls. There's another classic one. That was also good. Donkey Kong. Old school, simple task, easy objective, but yet hard to complete. Throw them damn barrels. Cut those barrels out.
Yeah, so Commando, that was the name of it. Here's kind of like a screenshot of it.
Ah, okay. Let me pull you up here.
I don't know if you'll get in trouble for that or not.
Okay. No, I think you're good. Yeah. Okay, so it was like first like looking down over them. Okay.
Right. Yeah. But you could play if you had another partner played, you could play 2 at a time, at the same time.
X-Men, best superhero. X-Men was a fun arcade game too, so I'll give you that one as well. Yeah. Blitz, NFL Blitz was fun. It's like you didn't just tackle someone, you slammed them through the ground. So yeah. The Centipede love. I like Centipede. I would play Centipede. Look, Centipede Missile Command introduced the trackball into gaming.
Yes, the
trackball, like you were just all over the place with that thing. Sega GT, yeah, little driving action. Atari Drive, yeah. Well, you go back to Atari, you gotta go back to pole position, right? That was like the first one. That was really the racing game. I can't even tell you how many quarters I spent at our local pizzeria where we get slices of pizza and we would play pole position. Trying to beat that damn timer every time. You're like, give me 30 more seconds, Little did we know that was later for sex, but hey, that's a whole different topic. Oh, my first console was Atari 1981. Yeah. The first one was the 2600, which I got. I'm trying to think, I was probably, whenever that came out, like somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s, whenever it came out, and we played the hell out of like 2600, Combat, Space Invaders, football with the 3 men, just like Pitfall. Oh, when Pitfall came out as a console game, that was like one of the first early cartridge games. I think everybody kind of lost it after was playing Pitfall.
Yeah, Pitfall. Yeah, that was a good classic.
That made Activision a household name for a lot of people. What craft beer goes arcade game in a lighter ABV or a pale ale? It depends on what you're playing on what console or what arcade. So, some games tend to be at least a little more focused than others.
True. That's true.
But we used to play Combat. We had Combat down so much. We knew like the secret spots on the corners where you could aim backwards and it would shoot through the wall on the other side.
On the old Atari?
Yeah, the old Atari.
Yeah.
We discovered the glitches of the old Atari 2600 back in the day. I guess we were kind of the first hackers when we started hacking, and it's just like figuring out what does what. Like,
yeah,
you go to the top corner, you shoot through it, and come to the other side, and you be tearing up the other person.
Yeah, all of a sudden, you got like spins when he gets shot. You're like, what the hell? What the hell just happened? How did I get? I'm behind the wall. How did I get shot? And then the ball, yeah.
I don't think there was a glitch with the airplane game where you could fly with the little airplanes, but yeah, but the tanks, it was definitely. Yeah. God, that brings back some memory, like being up late at night with your friends and just playing at like sleepovers and stuff. Just,
even like the old Pong, just like playing Pong.
And it's funny because I watched a special in gaming like last year or the year before, I can't remember for sure, but they were talking about the whole Atari and television, all kind of whole video game history, and they were talking about like people used to think like an Atari, you let the, like if your game didn't work, you would blow into it and it would make it work, and like that never really happens. I'm like, bullshit. I've done it myself.
Yes.
It didn't work. You blow into it and you put it in and it'll start working.
And Nintendo games too.
Yeah, Nintendo too
would work like, the same way.
They're like, no, they're really doing it. Like,
like you're not doing anything. But yeah. You're getting the dirt off the shit that's inside there.
It worked in my world. I don't know what world.
You're right.
Yeah, it worked when I did it. So they're like, oh, you should blow into it. Blah blah blah. It's like bullshit.
You just wasn't blowing hard enough.
Adventure and Zero as well. I remember the old adventure games too, like the old Atari as well. You could fight the dragon. NES with the Commando bundle. Oh, nice. And they got a Sega Genesis around 1990.
Sega Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis was funny. Like the Genesis were like, it was like the Rebel system. Because at the time people were Nintendo. And so Genesis was like for the more edgier, a little bit older than like the Nintendo going for the younger kids. It was going for more the teens and up.
Right.
And so you remember the old commercials, they would have like the whole Sega, type thing when they would yell at you, the TV set. And it was just like a total revolution of stuff. But Sega Genesis, the launch of John Madden, and the world changed. The world changed when the first Madden came out.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, yeah, it was just like people weren't sleeping anymore. We were gaming all night long with that thing, and people were doing all kinds of stuff. Betting, Madden was like revolutionary.
You go back and look at that first Madden compared to where Madden's at now, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably going to get the new Madden just because they're bringing out the special edition where they're putting Madden on the cover of this one. I just feel like I want to have a Madden with Madden represented on it. But back in the day, it was about winning when you played Madden. When it first came out, it was about hurting somebody, having an ambulance come out. You have to pick up the player. Yeah.
Well, when the ambulance come out, like all the players automatically just like, you wasn't running over them. They just spread like the Red Sea.
that was one of the coolest things when you could put somebody out of the game.
That was pretty good.
Madden might have been one of my favorite Sega Genesis game. Was probably Madden. Pitfall was the shit. It was. I mean, don't stand the right way on the crocodile's head. The crocodile would eat you. I mean, it was like you can jump across and balance yourself and all kind of stuff for open his mouth. Yeah. Pitfall had some pitfalls. Then when a session beer was gaming, yeah. Depending on what you're in. If you're doing like some Tomb Raider type shit, you definitely want a session beer where you can actually think and have to do puzzles. It was Joseph a neighbor for having ColecoVision.
Yeah, ColecoVision. My cousins had ColecoVision. I was like, I want to go play. I'm gonna go there and go play.
Yeah, it's funny because that's when you learn how to network, right? So I had Atari, my buddy had a television, another buddy had a ColecoVision, another buddy that had Gemini. And so we'd all network together. Another buddy had Commodore 64. So it's just a matter of setting up the network. So you go to different houses and play different games. But Commodore 64, back in the early 80s, it was just like Dr. J, Larry Bird.
Right.
101. That was the game, 101. Until they came out later with track and field and also decathlon. It was like 101 was the game where it was just like.
My brother bought the Odyssey.
Odyssey was another one. Yeah.
Which when you talk to people, they're like, oh, you must have been rich. I'm like, no, my brother bought it when he saved his own money and bought it. I don't remember being rich, but I was like, either people know it or they don't know it. You know what I mean? Like they never heard of it or they knew exactly what it was. Yeah.
It was in certain areas, so a lot of people didn't see it. Yeah. But
They had some fun games on there, though.
ColecoVision was one of those ones where it was like, I can see where you would be jealous on that one, because that was like one of the ones you definitely wanted to have as well. And I remember the old head-to-head Coleco games. Remember, like you'd have the baseball. It's like was on the other side, because that pretty much put Mattel out of doing anything.
Yes.
Football, all right, your ball, touchdown. You know, doing head-to-head, it was like, yeah, you had a chance to actually go against the other person.
Right. Yeah, you're like, oh, this is like a whole new level right here.
Neo Geo fans, Neo Geo I remember as well. Yeah. But Sega, when they come to Sega Saturn, like we were talking on the gaming channel that I do with the other guys where we do the show every second Wednesday of the month. The old, like we talked last month came up the question of the system you probably gave up that you wish you wouldn't have. For me, it was the Sega Dreamcast. Dreamcast was kind of
the Dreamcast
ahead of itself, and it was just like you didn't realize at the time as much, but it had so much stuff that was going for it. But it was tough in the market because the Dreamcast was out there. You started having like the early PlayStation, you had people coming off the Genesis, you had Super Nintendo type thing, but that had a lot of good stuff happening with it.
What was the? I think it was on the Genesis. It was a little adapter that you plugged into where your cartridges go to, but then you put the cartridges in that, and it was supposed to make it like a 32-bit or something. What was the game back then?
That was another adapter they had.
Is that what it was? Is that?
Yeah.
I remember a friend of ours got that, and I was like, oh yeah, and it actually did make the games look better. I was like, oh, this is pretty sweet.
But on Sega Genesis, I had one of the parts where you would put it in, and you could actually play with people in other states. I had one of the first dial-up type things.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
you could we would play Madden, and you'd be playing against somebody in Michigan or something like that and everything. So Sega Genesis came out with that adapter where you could play with people across the country, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
Older? Yeah, well, I was in my late 20s. Yeah, I was too. What's this? 99, yeah, I was too. I was in the 20s.
Yeah.
TurboGrafx store in 86 with no dice. I do remember TurboGrafx. Friends that I had Madden League back. Yeah, Madden used to get, when I was in college, the football team, because I used to like do stuff working at the stadium and everything like that and everything, but they had a place called the Bone Dome, and pretty much you just sign up on a sheet, and it got serious, like for matches and stuff, and like money would start getting bet on games and things. I mean, it was just like Madden had just captured everybody's enthusiasm that was a gamer and loved to play football. It was just one of those things that was next level. Only 18s. Master System. I had Sega during the 90s, and what a game catalog. Yeah, Sega was fun.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, Sega, the NHL 93, and it was the Madden with Vic on the cover, were probably the two best sports games EA Sports.
I was saying, even before Madden come out, remember like Tecmo Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, Tecmo Super Bowl. I remember
because Super Bowl. I think Tecmo Super Bowl was the first football game that I could remember where they actually had like a play action where you could fake it to the running back and then still throw the ball. I was like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. But you only had like 8 plays to pick from.
Well, Sega Genesis, I had the first talking football game, which was Joe Montana talking football.
Oh yeah.
It was Pat Summerall's voice that we used, and I got that for Genesis, and we were up, me and my buddies, nights playing that game like crazy, and it was like so cool when you first put it in, you first played it, and it's just like it's choppy now. It was like Pat Summerall, like first down, he's like singing his voice,
right?
It's just like all before the Madden commentary came along later, but it was just like.
But then you're like, this is awesome, yeah. This is great. Now you're like, really?
I do like some Pat Summerall, but I think his alcohol kind of caught up with him. I traded my Super Nintendo for a
PS1.
Yeah, and bad toys, yeah. Super Nintendo, I always think of them, the big game being GoldenEye with Nintendo in the series. Like, that was, when you think about, like, we played like Warzone, all these type of shooters, but one of the early best shooters was GoldenEye. You know,
Yeah.
James Bond game.
I always think of like Legend of Zelda for like regular
Well, for if you're doing like some of the
Nintendo
like
Nintendo or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. 14 in 1990, ninth grade. Yeah. Thanks, Trez.
Well, I wasn't much older than that, I don't guess.
Madden 01 changed the game on PS2. Yeah, me and Trez used to play Madden back in the day too, and online and stuff. So, but Trez is a big Madden player. So he got ahead of his time, indeed.
Yeah, I played in the league 3 years ago, I guess it was.
Yeah, that's a recap.
Yeah. PS4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the old
Tecmo Super Bowl was great.
I still have my old Madden collection. Yeah. I still have some of the Madden stuff that I actually have. I never got rid of some of the games and stuff, but that Madden with the one Michael Vick was on the cover is seen as one of the best Madden versions. And he was just like a crazy player that year. Like,
yeah,
he had him at quarterback. You could do so much. It just wasn't fair. It was kind of like having Bo Jackson on technical.
That's what I was just going to say. That was exactly what I was going to say. It's like you can just run around, nobody can catch you.
Yeah, it's like
or Barry Sanders.
Yeah. But even then, it was like you could play, but like you'd be like, no one could play with the Raiders, right? Like you had to like limit like who could do what because people get Bo Jackson. It was like crazy how good he was in that game.
You know, but as fast as they were on offense, I always remembered. I think it was David Fulcher.
Yeah, back then, yeah, we used to play. Yeah,
I think David Fulcher on the Bengals was a safety, and he was always freaking fast too. So to combat that, you'd pick like the Bengals, or maybe it was like even the Lions. I think then if somebody picked like the Bo Jackson, whatever, because I think Jerry Ball, you could always do like that dive in, and it would like sack the quarterback every single time almost.
Yeah, LT in the cover there for the old blitz and 04. Yeah, 04 is when he had I guess Vic on there. Yeah, but he was a beast as a when you had him like everybody's like all of a sudden everybody's a Falcons. They're playing with the Falcons because Michael Vick was still there.
Yeah. Almost kind of like I guess Lamar Jackson in a sense nowadays.
Well, yeah. Well, even like the last few years, like. I was thinking like 3 or 4 years ago when I played it, but I remember like Tom Brady, like people were like, don't play with the Patriots because like Tom Brady was so highly ranked with the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Meadow said, worst game ever? For me, that's easy because I had Atari, so it'd be E.T.
Oh, yeah. E.T. was bad. That game didn't even make any sense.
E.T. one of the worst blunders ever made. It's just like, that was a terrible game.
That's a good call there. That's a good call. That was pretty bad.
It's like, what is going on here? This is terrible. Yeah. I think all the kids that love the movie, they get this game and it's just like, this is shit. Yeah. I can't think of much games worse than that one.
Thank God. Thank God there wasn't anything worse than that one.
E.T. was terrible. Worst game ever. I strongly agree, guys. Yeah. Oh, man. That was one of the biggest flops. That was like New Coke. Like one of the biggest flops ever by a company.
New Coke, or what was the Clear Pepsi or whatever?
Clear Pepsi, Pepsi Clear, yeah. Well, the funny thing is, New Coke was considered like one of the biggest flops, but actually, New Coke ended up when it came back with the Coke Classic, it ended up spurring them for bigger success because people hated New Coke so much they started buying the old Coke, which is the Coke Classic. So on the surface, it was a flop, but then again, it kind of reinvigorated the company when they brought back the old formula. Kind of like a trick, like a Jedi trick. I built some ridiculous diesel Madden, a box were full. Yeah, well, that's the cool thing with the whole Madden where you can build your own plays and stuff, and have your you design plays for your defense or offense to do things. But yeah, spent numerous hours. I mean, playing Madden. The console games. I mean, they brought the arcades into the house. That kind of revolutionized everything. But
Oh yeah.
which is awesome because we still play like the PS4s, PS5s, Xboxes, whatever it may be. But I don't know. I feel like the younger generations never really had the fun like we used to have back in the day in the arcade. Like being in an arcade, having the fun of playing the game. Actually, back in the day, like when we were in high school, all kind of stuff, it was like you would meet girls, you would do all kinds of things in the arcade. Like arcade was like the spot in the mall that you would go to,
Right?
Yeah, and do stuff, right? So.
Well, it wasn't even so much of the fun of the game. It was you had to fight for your right to even keep playing because once you lost, then it was the next person up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Going or you were done. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a social connection place back in the day. The arcade was like the center of a lot of stuff. I don't hear echo, or is it echo? You say echo. I used to read SimCity, Super Nintendo a ton back in the day.
City.
Yeah, I remember. I remember The Sims. I remember SimCity where you built the whole city, but then The Sims came out later, and people were doing The Sims. And I remember when back in like I think it was the 90s or early 2000s. But then The Sims came out with like you can get like the nude packs. People were just like, of course, people always take it to the next level. So they're like having nude like Sims and stuff like that. They're trying to. It's like it's a cartoon character. What are you gonna do there? Like.
They had that in Grand Theft Auto where we had like the hot coffee code.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Where it was like get the sex scene or whatever it was, and they're like, really? Oh man.
Back in the 70s, my BBF and I invented our own football game using dice, toss football cards, and old vinyl field. Interesting. Well, back in the day, back in like the late 70s, early 80s, I remember having a football game where it was like the football field, the metal field, that you'd have the players.
Oh yeah, the vibrating.
You hit the switch, you run the play, the vibrate. I don't know any person that ever finished a full game of that, but I remember the fun of actually playing it for a while with your friends. Like, and your guy would be like, you have to pause it, throw a quarterback pass or whatever, like, but you had to turn the dial in certain ways and the players move and stuff. So.
I mean,
people used to paint the characters and everything.
It took you so long to set up your offense and defense as it did to play the game.
Right. I remember playing NHL in '93, and it would get so heated that I was coming for somebody to plug in the wall and lose the game. But, I remember that too. Yeah. I remember.
I've thrown a controller a time or two, getting pissed off in a game. And
controllers may have been broken, plugs may have been pulled. Yeah.
Possibly.
That's the life of some of the gaming for sure. College football 06 wasn't still the day one of the greatest Sims ever. 06. I've got the NCAA. I think it's 010 and 11, I believe, over here. I missed the college game, like the college basketball, college football, and some people don't realize there was a college baseball. I had college baseball at one point too.
Oh yeah,
which was pretty cool.
I was going to say one of my favorite college, still sports games is NCAA 2K8.
Oh, 2K8,
college basketball, and I think still to this day you can go online and get like updated rosters of guys like now, like all the new players and stuff.
Well, it's amazing now how much some of those games actually cost too. Like, because the market's so high when people are trying to go back and get them now. Like, some of those games are like 80, 90, over $100 something for some of them.
Because that was the first game I looked up when I saw like PlayStation had like the third tier, like the highest tier, that you can get now.
Yeah.
Where I had all the games, I was like, I'm gonna see if that was like 2K8. Is that on? I was like, no, it's not. I was like, dang it.
Gilbert said underrated games. Ooh. Some of the best underrated games. Talking console or talking arcade?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how far back are you talking? Or just in general, doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think one game that on the console that I felt like I never got into as much was probably one of the coolest games has been back in the day. Like Max Payne was one that was pretty interesting storyline. And then the one where you had I can't remember the character was Snake.
Yeah, Joe. No, it was Snake Eyes.
No, it was something where he was like you were an operative trying to get into stuff, breaking it. I can't remember the name of it now. Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like one that I feel like was really a nice storyline and good play as well. Speaking of Top Gun, anyone ever landed on the aircraft carrier on a game for the NES? That was a bad game. I didn't play that one on it. I never had the NES, so I never played that one on it. Did you ever see that one? Speaking of Top Gun, everyone landed the jet on the aircraft carrier. Did you have Top Gun on the NES? Oh, you're muted. Now you're back. What did you say?
No, I was talking to Shannon.
Oh.
So yeah, Top Gun, yeah, because you had to land, straighten it out to land it and everything.
I remember doing Flight Simulator on the computer back in the day. That was like a tough game. Mickey's Haunted House. As underrated?
Sure, E.T. wasn't underrated.
Yeah, E.T. Play have all the rosters, great game. Yeah.
You're talking about the basketball one, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I still have my old PlayStation on that one for PlayStation 2. I think it was it 3 maybe.
Around 2000, I realized I had a serious PS1 problem, so I never upgraded to cure my addiction. You were kind of into it too much, JT. I was in the TK, pure classic Todd, good call. Metal Gear Solid was all, yeah, it was, and I feel like that might have been one that was kind of more underrated than how good it actually was with the whole storyline and everything. Hell no, I crashed every damn time. So I'm trying to land on the aircraft carrier. Yeah. Yeah, we got a good amount of gamers here, which is cool. So the gaming is actually, I find gaming always being reliable. I mean, I'll probably always be a gamer. I mean, I just enjoy it and relax.
Well, kind of our time frame, kind of started out with the generation of gaming. I mean, that was us.
I mean, that's Gen X right there.
Yeah, start of it.
Yeah. I was on a video, like, when I posted on Facebook, it was a lady talking about Gen X. And she was basically saying, like, how come Gen X never looks like they're supposed to look? Because, like, we're always younger, we're supposed to do this. And she's like, well, that's because we were the first ones to stay home by ourselves. We were learning how to cook by the time we were 7. We were doing this, we were doing that. We were latchkey kids. It was a great video just talking about the generation that we actually are a part of. It's just like, she's like, we're never going to be what you think we're going to be because we're just that much better than that. I mean, we are Gen X, like,
yeah. So true.
I don't even think it really phases us, It's kind of like, like you see stuff on, there's always like millennials fighting boomers and stuff, and we're like in the middle, like, yeah, we're like freaking the Breakfast Club when they're running around the locker room and the one chick is just sitting there watching them run back and forth. Like, we're just chill. We're chill. We're always gonna be all right.
Right. How you liking the FIFA?
Oh, I like playing FIFA. I'm all into it. I liked FIFA before. It's just I hadn't played it as much, and then when they gave it for free last month, I'm like, well, shit, I'll play it a lot more now for sure.
Yeah, I've only played it a couple times. I've been getting back into the golf game here lately.
I haven't played that in a while. We need to play that. We talk about it all the time, but like I know Alan and Blake have been playing it too. So
I think when I was on there, was it yesterday? You were playing FIFA. I saw you playing FIFA. So I started. You want to play some golf?
Yeah, I do the my player mode. I get pissed off and they won't. Don't kick me the ball. I'm like I'm hoping, like trying to get the pass and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just it's fun. I like it, and me and Alan did a thing on the channel where we did like a best of 5. I ended up getting them like 4-1, I think, or 3-1 rather. But it's a fun game. I play FIFA more than I play Madden or anything. Huh?
It took me a minute to figure out the kicking on there because every time I was kicking it, everything was going high.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you had to like put the joystick down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the left stick down so to kick it.
And then the power and everything too. Yeah. Game takes it away from reality, not a bad thing. Yeah, it's a chance to get a break and relax a little bit and clear the mind is how I've always been with it. Pick any underrated games you'd like. We're trying to take a damn dial up. This doesn't like gaming with the PS2 to play Madden dial up. Just doesn't work. Yeah.
Nope. 10 minutes later, somebody picked up the phone. I was on the what are you doing? Kick you out.
You wasn't really game anymore. Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's tough to find. I mean, I do the gaming more now with the gaming channel I have, but even that is so many other things like timing and stuff to get time. I mean, Todd, he doesn't get the game as much as well, so.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I can. I just don't as much as I did.
Yeah, I think it's a balance though too, because you don't want to get into where you're overly gaming so much. I feel like there's times I'm gaming and there's times like read a book, try to do this, try to do that.
Right, that is true. Yeah. That's kind of where I fall.
So you try to do other stuff as well. So you try to cut your time out, but finding time for anything nowadays is always a battle.
Because the thing with playing video games, you get into it and you don't even realize how much time has gone by, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I need to turn this off and go to bed.
Yeah. Classic game. Classics are always good. Civilization 5. I don't like version 6. Civilization 5. The Civilization games, you can play them for like forever. You're always building stuff. Dial sound Todd. Yeah. Dial. No, that was worse back in like the 90s when you're trying to talk to somebody on the phone and somebody trying to dial in on a computer or something like that and everything. Like, Mom, I'm on the phone. Perfect golf full stream, arcade cabinet, trackball. Great, very hard golf sim. Yeah. But trackball is like golden tee, so yeah.
Yeah.
That still pulls a lot of people. That's one of the arcade games that's now like still pop. Like bars will put them in and people will play them like crazy. It's like a moneymaker for the bars.
I think at dial-up, I always think of downloading music on Napster.
In the 90s, yeah.
Like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to load these like 3 songs and wake up next morning, but like most of them would be done, but not all of them. Like, Jesus, how long does this freaking take? Download 4 freaking songs. Now it's just it doesn't matter, it's just automatic.
Well, that's like another part of our generation. We had Napster where we could download music. We had torrents where we could download movies.
Oh, yeah.
All kinds of stuff that, you can't do now that we were able to do for a period of time. I mean, I ended up getting rid of them when I moved, but I had stacks of CD-ROMs of old movies I had burnt like for torrents that I didn't want to move. I just threw them away or whatever. But it was just like, any movie we wanted, we can go online to certain websites, whatever, and download it and be like, oh, I got that movie right here. It's at the theater, but I can watch it at home.
I got it, yeah.
Yeah.
I have it.
How'd you get it? Don't worry about how I got it. Just know I got it,
Where'd you get it? Don't worry about where I got it from.
Oh, things of our generation that we've received. That's funny.
Good old days.
Perfect golf when it was still in beta, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like our generation has seen a lot of things come and go, and I don't know. People always say people are like kind of more attached to whatever their time frame is, but I do feel like technology and different things that we've seen were probably
more adaptive.
Think about it. Like our generation, we saw the microwave get invented and become what it's been. We've seen the cell phone get invented. We saw the computer become a household thing. We've seen things go from the old 78 records down to the tape to tape to the CDs to the 8-track to the MP3 to basically digital now. We've seen so many different things happen. It's just like we've had so many different advancements during our generation than others, I think.
it'd be adaptability for our generation for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean,
The progressiveness of just learning and keep growing with as technology grows. You just kind of grow with it, you know.
I mean, we went from
As where like our parents and stuff, it was, you know, computers and phones and stuff. It's kind of like, I don't know, I'm not sure, you know, I'm not uncomfortable. Not comfortable with it, whatever. That's why we just kind of like, whatever, just keep on going with it, you know.
I mean, we went from kids having black and white TVs, being remote control, up to through the color TVs, through the LCD TVs, through the plasma, through the HD. Like, we've seen all that stuff. We went from the Polaroid one step to where we have the digital cameras now. So it's kind of like all the other is like, we were kind of part of that. If they had to put like a title in our generation, it'd be like the innovation generation. That's like what we were.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen so many things innovated. Like, we were, you know, think about like the 60s, like the first time they went to the moon. But through our lifespan, we've seen them go how many times into space? Into the space age, like the space shuttle and all kinds. I mean, we've seen so many different things happen. Like, and now we got like all kinds of things being launched out. It's just like, we were just, I don't know. It's just, I feel like we had a lot of different things happen in our era that kind of gives us a different outlook on things, and that we're able to really, like, I feel like our generation doesn't feel like there's anything that we can't do. You know, like some generations are like, well, you can't do this or you can't do, like our generation, like there's nothing that we can't do that can't be tried, so to speak. I feel like that's Generation X.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me,
for sure.
but that's just how I feel. I mean, you know, we went from the TV dinner to the full wave microwave dinner. You know, it's just the things that we did. We had Jiffy Pop. We had Jiffy Pop growing up. None of the young kids had Jiffy Pop. They don't know what that is. With the you're shaking it on the stove. You didn't have that. Like, kids didn't have that. We had, you know.
Jiffy Pop versus Orville Redenbacher.
Yeah.
That was one of the shows you were just talking about earlier.
I mean,
whatever, or what's it called?
The which one?
History Channel.
Oh, the Food That Built America?
The Food That Built America, yeah, that was one of the shows the other day. It was Jiffy
Yeah,
Pop
like
versus the Orville Redenbacher.
We had that. Like, we could make movie popcorn at home just on the stove, shaking that thing, you know? We had all that stuff. It was kind of like, that's just what we did. We had just so many different things. Like, we saw a computer going from the size of a room almost to now being fit on your desk, you know? We went from the big old floppy disk to now to a little, you know, 3.6 gig or whatever, little mini type thing.
Well, you think like cameras and stuff too, like your phones, you carry it in your pocket. You gotta, you know.
Yeah, like the whole computer in your
whole thing, you know.
And when we watched that happen, from the rotary phone to the big old block cell phone to like the little cell phone that you have now, I mean, you know, we had to go through playing Snake. That's what we had to do. We had to play Snake back in the damn games. Now we can play Call of Duty on our phone, but we played Snake. Y'all didn't even know about Snake back in the day. We were the ones that cut our teeth on that kind of stuff, that technology. Gen X is the generation. I mean, I might be partial, but I'm just saying.
Well, not so much. Maybe a little bit, but you know.
Maybe just a little bit.
We have right to be.
It's like, we did so many different things. It was like, you know, we were outside doing stuff, and we had time to play video games, and, you know, we were adventuring. You know, we were building forts in the woods. You know, give us some cardboard, we'll build a fort, we're good to go. See you when the street light came on, you know, type
right,
thing, you know? That's our generation right there.
Oh, man, street light. All right, see y'all tomorrow.
We didn't need a clock. We went by the street light back in the day. That's
Like,
how you do.
Yeah. We'll pick up this game tomorrow. We'll come back.
Street light go on and you're still out there. You're like, oh, snap. You got, yeah.
I was saying, even if you wasn't coming home as soon as like street light come on, you had an X amount of time. Your ass is
Yep.
gonna get beat by the time you got like, where you been?
Your thought was, which friend can I blame this on?
Yeah. Yes. But it took me, 2 minutes to walk from the street down the street.
Yeah.
No, not good enough.
I mean, we were the generation of pizza slices and Slurpees at the 7-Eleven, so
7-Eleven.
we grew up watching Faces of Death and laughing. That's just our generation. It's just, we're tough as nails when it comes to a lot of shit. It's just like, that's how we handle shit, It's like, it always comes back to, there's nothing that can stop us from doing something if we want to accomplish it. That's just the Generation X motto. Like, if I want to get it, I'll get it. So, ain't no waiting on this or waiting on that. We just go after it.
I want what I want. I'm gonna get what I want.
That's my Gen X soapbox for tonight. Oh, we get the final comments before we get out of here. Oh, let me see. Trying to see where I left off here. Civilization. Oh, it's perfect. Let's see. Yeah, Gen X for sure, right, Big Daddy? I mean, that's just us. We were tough. It's just like,
Absolutely.
Sure did, Rob. We saw what we did. We saw a lot. We handled it. It's kind of like, we learned to deal with stuff as younger. I mean, even like our TV stuff. Like, we'd have TV shows that were serious, but also comedy. Like, we were able to. Nowadays, it's like some of the stuff that we watched growing up, they can't even put on TV, they said, because people get offended by it.
Right,
like,
right.
It was just a different time. File share me. We were a generation of file share, right? Like, oh, we can, here, I got it here, I'll shoot it over to you. We dial phone in the house, someone went silent, and we answered every call, right? The worst thing with the rotary is when you had to dial somebody, you messed up. You had to hold the thing down, let it reset, start all over again. Yeah.
And then he was like, why has your number got so many 8s in it? Because you had to do it all the way around and wait for it to come back and then do it again. Why can't your number be shorter than it is? What took you so long? Where you got 8s and 7s and 9s and you're talking about? It's my fault.
We did experience all of it for sure. Cooking with light bulb, easy bake oven, right? Easy bake oven. I can make a pie. I can make a cake. I'm good to go. You're right. Still make popcorn on the stove top, right? Yeah. It's what we had. We learned that way. And they do the old toy oven, 4 model TVs without cable. Yeah. Some of the 80s were the best times of growing up. But and we appreciated all of that stuff too. It was just like, it was what it was, and what we have now. I mean, I feel like I go walking like the Baltimore, and I walk around the areas and stuff like that. Like, I walked the other day to go get a prescription at CVS. Walk, and yet I see all these younger kids doing the whole scooter type thing.
Yeah,
and it's like, you need to walk, get some exercise type. You're just riding on the scooter type thing. And I see some people in the scooter type thing that you probably want to walk a little bit more. you probably want to step off of it a few times. I'm just saying,
break a little bit. Yeah.
Not body shaming like that. I'm just saying, you probably want to walk a little bit more. It's just, and I'm just like, we did back in the day. Like, I can walking home from school. School was probably a good mile, maybe mile and a half sometimes. Or if we missed the bus, you wasn't calling mom and pop. You were walking. You were out there. You were at the hoof it if you missed it, because you're not calling them from work. Because anytime you brought mom or dad from work, you were like, it better be a good reason. I got to take off work to come get your ass type situation. Right. So you're like, I won't say anything. I just walk home, And hopefully you get past that one neighbor's yard, because everywhere you walk, one neighbor had a dog that likes to try to jump the fence and come after you or something. So you always were hoping to walk past that one yard and not deal with the dog, right? So that's just the shit you did back then in the day. And it's just like, we would do it. You know, it was just like we would find what we need to do and get it done and move on to the next day or whatever. You know, we would, like, one of the things I was mentioning, like, we would go out like at nighttime and adventure. Like, we would go to old wrecked buildings and like fucking climb around them and do
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
It was just like part of the whole exploring type adventure, and it's like that was just what we would do back in the day. You know, we have a party somewhere, we're like, oh, we're going down to so and so, supposedly it's haunted, so we're gonna go down there, see if it's haunted,
Check it
hang
out.
you know, things are good, have a couple beers or whatever like that, and go back to your other friend's house. You know, we just did shit like that.
I remember little kids would just play flashlight tag, go hide in somebody's yard, or somebody climb in somebody's back of their truck, or need a flashlight. Now you do that, and they'll come out shooting your ass, thinking you're trying to break in or steal something.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I mean, we were the generation of light as a feather. I mean, for those of you that know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. We would sit there at the party like light as a feather and stiff as a board, and we play that game, right? You'd be like, oh, so-and-so has a Ouija board. Well, let's check it out.
Let's
you know,
do it.
We would do shit like that, you know? So we would question things. We were more innovative on things. Not to say the kids are today or might not be that way, but I just feel like our generation was always like, you know, somebody says something, it's like, well, let me check it out. You know,
I don't believe
that. Yeah, I don't believe you. Like, let's test it out.
Yeah.
Well, that's just what we did, you know, which I'm appreciative for, because I think that made it that much more fun growing up, that we were able to take advantage and do those type of things.
Then it kind of made you stronger as a person too. Like, you have learned to deal with things over, you know, time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't say soft for any reason, but just kind of learn to deal with shit.
Yeah. You guys, a Jiffy Pop's still around. I didn't know Jiffy Pop was still out there.
I've seen it in stores.
Rotary phone and smartphones. Yeah, we saw it all. We saw it happen. The G said, catch you guys down the road, drive safe. Yeah, you too, brother. Have a great night, my friend.
See you, James.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Jiffy Pop go to microwave pop. Think about that. Like, cooking on the stove to basically put in this little package in the microwave.
Right. 2 minutes later, it's done.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just... We were a generation that had a great time growing up, and to see a lot of the things that became technology innovation through the culture of being not just America but global, I guess, on certain aspect of it, that you know, we saw a lot of that. I mean, not to mention we were the generation that benefited later on from Jimmy Carter allowing people to homebrew. It wasn't until 1978 when Jimmy Carter, was it 78? Yeah, 78 when Jimmy Carter signed the thing where you could do homebrewing up to 100 gallons a year yourself in your own house. So, I mean, yeah.
Which really, you almost could thank him for craft beer today, really.
Yeah, allowing people to experiment and do different things. So, yeah, so, you know, it's just, you know, some of those things, it's funny when you look at stuff and you look at different eras and what different things have brought in. Not to knock any of the other eras. I mean, obviously, you have other stuff that happened in the great eras as well before us and after us too. But pound for pound, I think we probably have the most shit that really resonates today that happened that we were able to see. You know, whether it's the computer type stuff, internet technology, cooking, you know, whatever, anything, automobile. I mean, we went from the whole lead-in vehicles to no lead-in gas type thing I mean, we've seen a lot. We've seen a lot during our time.
To now, even to electric cars, you know.
Yeah. Well, we even saw electric cars the first time around in the 90s when Saturn was doing it.
Well, yeah.
And they kind of got shut down on it. So everybody's like, oh, electric cars are new. Like, no, actually, they came out before, but people weren't ready for them yet. So, I mean, the whole Apple thing is just like, yeah, we were here for all of that. So, I know I'm ranting right now, but just pointing out some of the great things about our generation. Yeah. So thank you, Gen Xer, when you see them.
Thank you, Jeanette.
Oh shit. Oh well. Who did 11:50? Yeah, I guess we're gonna wind it down and shut it down here for the night. Another great Toss One Back Thursday. Thanks for everybody that definitely tuned in, and always a good time. Over on the Twitter channel, 719. For those of you who like to follow Twitter, I'm going to be doing a thing with the other guys that I have over there with Linda Cooley from Mad River Brewing. We're actually going to be talking about the stuff they're actually got rolling again. So Linda I had on here before, and I'll get her back again and do another video talking about their brewery out there in California. But that'll be a fun conversation. Start checking out the podcast if you get a chance. If you're a podcast fan, again, the link's up in the top of the comments. Last look at the poll. I'm thinking of election season right now, which is here. So we had, are you burnt out on IPAs? 61% said no, 39% said yes. So we'll go ahead and close that out. But IPAs are still doing okay, but not by as much. 61%. So got a little bit of a slippage there.
Actually, I thought it'd be a little closer than that.
Yeah. It was 50-50 at one point, but now we got a little bit more that are definitely enjoying the IPAs. And that's all good. It's just kind of getting a pulse of what people are feeling right now. A lot of good beer styles out there, but tonight we asked about the IPA. But that being said, we'll go ahead and get wrapped up. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. We definitely look forward to catching up with you guys next week. Todd, anything you got to close out with?
No, I have a good weekend. Start my vacation on Saturday. So.
Yeah. Next week we'll have stories from Todd going to New Holland Brewing, what he thought, and maybe some other breweries.
Yep.
So make sure you take good notes. Make sure Shannon brings her notebook.
No, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, we need to get Shannon next week with her notebook to see what she thought about stuff too. And that being said, and we'll go ahead and wrap up. So we wrap up with a little bit of Dusty Rose tonight, you think?
Oh, might as well. It's been a while.
Dusty. All right, we'll close out with a little Dusty, and then we will catch up with you guys later. Y'all have a good one. Cheers, everybody.
Stables.
Yeah, I'm looking for a horseman.
A horseman?
A horseman goes by the name of Rick.
Not here.
Are you a horseman?
I could be. What can I do for you?
Friday night, you can see me at War Games. Bring all your horsemen, because I will have Moondog Spot, Moondog Rex, and the Monkey Brothers. Yeah, I'm looking for a horseman goes by the name of Rick Flair.
Don't know him.
Could I leave a message?
I guess.
All right, write this down. Tell him it's Big Dust.
Okay.
The American Dream.
Okay.
Tell him to meet me Friday night, Starcade.
Meet you at the Stockade.
Yeah, Starcade, Friday night.
I don't know what you're wasting your time for.
Is this Baby Doll? Baby Doll, I know that was you Jezebel! Hello, I'm looking for some horsemen.
I've got plenty. How many you need?
4.
4 horsemen.
Yes, sir. This Big Dust calling on behalf of Crocker Promotions.
Can't hardly understand what you're saying, but...
Sorry, I got a little bit of a lisp. What about Chris Benoit? Oh, he did. Sorry.
No, I don't really know what you're talking about.
Is this J.J. Dillon's?
No.
Don't lie to me, J.J.'s. You and I go way back, Jack.
Well, it ain't JJ. You got the wrong person.
Don't mess with the American dream, JJ. My eyes are open as big as silver dollars, Jack.
Well, you got the wrong guy.
You and I, JJ, leather strap match. Dustin Rhodes is the master of the strap match. JJ Dillon, you a yellow dog.